Are we live? I'm assuming that we're live.
We're live.
Okay, we're live. Hi, everybody! And welcome to this game of Rescue Bots, ran in the Transformers RPG system. So hopefully we can have a lovely game. To start off with, just going through everybody, giving their names and pronouns as well as the name and pronouns of their characters. Just so everybody gets a little introduction. But I'm Clay. I will be your GM today, as well as playing a GMPC character who will be giving information to our lovely players, called Brian. He uses he/him pronouns. My pronouns are they them. But just going down the chat, Hannah, would you like to go next?
I'm Hannah with she, her pronouns, not playing Rosie, also with she, her pronouns that I forgot to write on my overlay, but there we go. Oh well.
Okay.
Is me?
Joseph? Mhm.
Hiya, I'm Joseph. I use he/him pronouns. I'm going to be playing the Cybertronian scamp Sea-Watch, who also uses he/him pronouns.
Hi, I'm Mason. I use he, they pronouns, and I am going to be playing Switchback, who also uses he, they pronouns.
Hi, I'm Robin. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm going to be playing Bramble, who, to continue the trend, also uses they, them pronouns.
Mention the dog.
Yes. Bramble has a dog called Berry, and Berry is a girl, she, her.
Nice. Everybody introduced. The dog is here. We're all happy. So we join our team of rescue workers in the firehouse home on the island of Griffin Rock. It's a bit tense there at the moment because of the recent revelation that the team's new rescue robots given to them by some form of government agency are actually aliens in disguise.
What? Next you'll be telling me they changed shape or something.
Oh no. Primus forbid.
So this is a relatively new revelation, so things are a bit tense at the firehouse. Hopefully everybody will be getting along, especially as they go through their regular morning routines. So we're just gonna go down the line again. What would your character be doing in the morning before anything happens?
So Rosie, as human scientists, probably, if not sleeping in accidentally, I don't. All my characters aren't self-insert. What are you talking about? She'd probably be, I guess, just going about her normal morning routine, sort of freshening up, getting ready for the day, having a shower, and maybe grabbing some breakfast before maybe tinkering with some gadgets or something, whilst sort of trying to keep herself occupied.
In that case, if it's the early hours of the morning and there's maybe not too many people out and about along Griffin Rock's coastlines to potentially question, why is that rescue boat out there just in the morning with seemingly no one piloting it, litter picking? As Sea-Watch likes to spend any spare time he can ensuring the safety and security of ocean environments, and essentially going along the coast, picking up. And considering Griffin Rock's rather probably tidy and probably good on that, there's probably not much, but any small things he can, he's collecting and making sure are properly recycled, and is not polluting the ocean environment. And also maybe spending some time admiring the oceanic views and probably getting a little lost and losing track of time.
Switchback is spending most of probably because I imagine even in his more bot mode, he still has wheels on his feet, so he's like rolling around, seeing as fast as he can go. kind of flitting
Rocket
from
Heelys.
place to place, getting distracted very easily, probably ending up next to Sea-Watch at some point, trying to like get his attention, and then getting distracted and going somewhere else.
In my head, they're Rocket Heelys,
Wilson Heelys.
which is a reference to the first game of Tablethon that I was also in, where we had a character with Rocket Heelys.
Wonderful. Anyway, Bramble will be first of all taking Berry on a nice long walk to get her tired out. At that point, afterwards, they're both going to get cleaned up because inevitably Berry is going to get mud all over herself and then all over Bramble. So they get cleaned up and then they'll eat. That's what a typical morning would look like for those two.
Wonderful. Looks like everybody's keeping busy, but I can't help but notice that none of you are spending it together. And, you know, you guys are supposed to be a team, spending time together.
I wonder why we might be a bit awkward about that right now.
I do wonder. But awkwardness aside, emergency situations wait for no man, woman, person of any sort, or robot,
Even dogs.
or dogs. And so the alarm at the firehouse goes off, and those of you that are there hear it, those that you are not, get pinged on your radio receivers, and the voice of Ryan comes over whatever listening device that you're currently near. It's like, morning everyone, yeah, so we've got the call from... I forget the names of my characters. Ranger Parkins, that somebody's gotten stuck in a sinkhole up at the creek.
Oh no.
So if you guys could, you know, get on that as soon as possible, then I'm pretty sure the situation shouldn't be too bad. And you just hear like a loud sneeze as Brian's seasonal allergies are acting out once again. And it's the only reason that he is not participating in field work at the moment.
What was that noise?
Yeah, sorry, Sea-Watch. Just a sneeze.
What's a sneeze? Is this some sort of weird, like, disease, like alien noise thing? I don't know. I've never heard sneezes.
It's just hay fever. Don't worry about it.
Okay, Sea-Watch says, still having no idea what any of that is, as the idea of just nasal things and is completely foreign to him as a robotic organism.
Yeah, the old olfactory sensor doesn't get irritated, does it?
No, it's just metal up there.
It's like a glitch in Brian's system, Sea-Watch. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Is it deadly? Or...
No.
Oh, okay. Good.
So yeah, are you guys gonna head up to the creek?
Yeah.
So who else was still in the rescue house?
That would have been me and also Barry.
I was gonna say, neither of you two have vehicles because your rescue vehicles are currently not there.
Circling the rescue house.
Yeah, to reach, I'm probably not too far away. To reach up there, I assumed I'd have to be traveling by land.
Yes.
All right, then in that case, Sea-Watch looks for the nearest thing that could feasibly be a ramp up onto land, and after doing a couple circles, heads straight towards it, launches up his hydrofoil form up into the air, and then, as a triple changer, immediately midair changes into his SUV off-roader form, lands with probably a little less grace than his aquatic form would usually allow him, and starts tumbling towards the firehouse to pick up. I imagine since Bramble also has to bring Berry, that those two would ride in Sea-Watch's alt mode, and then I don't know if Rosie would go on switchback, or Rosie also gets in the SUV.
I think Rosie
somebody's got to go with switchback.
Yeah, I can't.
All right,
we'll
Rosie goes
switch
with
back.
switchback then.
Yeah, otherwise it's a bit like, where's the dirt bike going by itself?
Yeah.
It's on an island of like semi-fantasy technology.
Yeah, probably.
It's
We can probably
fine.
get
I was
away
gonna
with it.
say, self-driving motorcycles, or at least cars, are something that's being worked on in Griffin Rock at the moment, but currently that
Oh.
tech is kind of unstable and has caused more than one accident.
Okay.
Self-driving
people with-
motorcycles also would stand out more than a self-driving car.
Probably, yeah.
It'd be more obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, people
More
see a
obvious that there
self-driving
isn't a
vehicle
driver.
coming and they are likely to jump out of the way.
I mean,
Might
it
do
makes,
some
it means we
more
don't need a
harm than
siren.
Yeah. Sea-Watch will then, pull. I like to think that in his SUV form, he still has in safety slots his life buoy, like the rings, the orange ring. I'm forgetting the name right now. The
Life
Uh,
preservers?
life preservers,
rings,
yeah.
yeah.
The circular life preservers are still like slotted in on the sides, so so you can just grab them off him if needs be, but they're just on the side of an SUV, which looks a little weird.
You know how like SUVs have the
Tire on the
spare
back.
weel on the back?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
that, but it's just
the
like
life
it's just
preservers.
like
preservers.
it's just like a stack of like 3 or 4 of them, just
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
absolutely. But yeah, he'll pull up to outside of the firehouse and just like putting on his best like automated robot voice. Emergency has been reported. Need drivers now, please.
Emergency.
Sure thing.
Come to it. I'll stop circling the building and go into
So
motorcycle.
by the time you get to the rescue house, Rosie is waiting outside, ready to be picked up, with gear in pack and ready to go.
So I imagine you guys are heading towards the creek at this point.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Would any of your
Yeah,
characters be likely to involve themselves in some, driving conversation, or is this totally dead silent?
Sea-Watch will probably try.
Hmm.
It's just as we're
I like
going
Rosie as well. Mm,
at a quiet
you
point.
first.
Oh yeah, sorry, no, you can go first if you want to.
So switchback. Would you prefer to drive, or do you need my input, or
I got it.
okay? I'll just sit back and look busy.
Yeah,
So-
driving is kind of what I
Yep.
do.
That makes sense. Probably better at it than I am. I don't technically have a motorbike license. Don't tell anyone.
Well, you're not driving, so you don't have to worry about it, right?
I'm
Need a
sure
secret
that
license?
the police. Yeah. Well, to be fair, presumably we're in US jurisdiction here, so
Yeah, so Griffin
Other than
Rock
that
is off
weird
the
US
coast
rule
of
where-
Maine.
yeah. So is there that weird US rule where you're allowed to somehow drive different types of vehicles with a license that you haven't qualified on?
I think you need to have a motorcycle license.
Sure, that's good. Yeah. So I mean, I've got a car license, switchback, but
Basically the same.
sure, let's go with that. So you're from Cybertron, right?
Tron.
Tron. Okay, sorry. Oh, new to this. How come you're here on Earth?
It's a really long story. A
Oh,
lot happened.
when
for
we're
us to
not
get
in the middle of the road. You'll have to catch us up on it when we're not on our way to a rescue, I suppose.
For sure. I'm probably not the best one to ask about it, though. I don't pay attention a lot. If I'm being
Uh,
honest.
Would we all be on like in proximity enough to maybe be hearing the conversation as we're going by?
Yeah, so you guys have like a comm link, so you guys can hear what each other are saying.
Yeah. Sea-Watch might just. If you want a quick summary, political chaos on the planet between two rival factions. The group that we're with essentially were neutral faction, trying to keep people safe, protect people. Things went bad. Big guy, Megatron, Decepticons, real nasty fellow, blew us up, but most of us up. Then the
Gosh,
other
I'm so
side,
sorry.
led by a guy, can't do anything about it now. Other side, led by a guy called Optimus Prime, very much freedom, peace, but still gonna fight a war. Guy essentially came here to Earth. The war from it. You might not notice it, but the Decepticons and Autobots are kind of still at war here on Earth. Don't worry about it; they're dealing with it probably elsewhere. And when we came along, Optimus was like, "We'll grant you amnesty if you help the people of Earth understand and understand our people, and eventually one day we may not have to be robots in disguise." Blah blah blah. And well, I'm just happy to do my job rescuing people and things and exploring this rather nice planet. So yeah, that's about it.
I guess it wasn't as much as I thought it was.
If you know, if you cut out all the silly speeches, yeah, it's about that simple.
Yeah, I kind of zoned out at the silly speeches.
Gonna say the speeches, the poetry, the typical war propaganda. We could go into it, but
Gosh, yeah, I'm sorry that you lost your home, but we're glad to have some expert rescuers on our side.
Mm-hmm. Though still getting used to fleshy things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
I'm
not
not
that
sure
there's
I'm
anything
entirely
wrong with
used to
that.
being a fleshy thing. No,
Yeah,
it's okay. I'm not entirely sure I'm used to being a fleshy thing, to be honest. It has its drawbacks, like hay fever.
yeah, whatever that. You're very squishy. I'm having to be very careful.
Very squishy.
Uh,
Yeah,
and
we're
and
just little guys.
your Sharktacons are made of flesh instead of metal.
Mm,
And I guess they're missing the Tacons part. So are they just called sharks? That's weird.
they are. They are.
It's too short.
Yeah,
Too short of a name.
all the animals in the sea are. It's Yeah, I can't think of a single animal that has a con in its neck.
Hmm.
Cone snails. It's not quite the same. It's got the same
No,
letters.
I think. Yeah, I'm gonna need to read up on my marine biology. Speaking of biology, Bramble, I noticed. Have you been making sure to be using compostable doggy bags for Barry?
Of
No.
course. I couldn't think of anything less.
Okay, good, because I've seen people just throw those around. It's really bad for the environment, and plastics and everything. It's horrible. Frankly, I think that's a worse threat to Earth than Decepticons.
You see a
Okay.
lot of trash when you walk dog every day, twice a day.
Yeah.
Someone should get up
Okay.
to it.
Rude.
Trash discussions aside, and as
We get derailed into it as we drive.
environments
Yeah,
are
just one of those kind of.
Let's
people
stop
and
going to rescue
Cybertronians.
and pick up trash.
You guys do arrive at
Oh,
the
okay,
creek,
okay.
and I will just pull up the map. Can you guys
There's water on it. This is good.
yeah, there's a little bit of water.
Just a little bit of water as a treat.
Yeah. So is the stream currently pointed at the map? Or do we have to things that?
I can check. So I've got
This is when. Not currently.
Yeah, no, it's fine. How do I do that?
In the
Yeah, I
panel
can
with the
do that.
yeah.
Yeah, on Roll20. It's under audio and video. and
Thank
video display.
you. Which audio and video?
Yeah, audio and video display, and at the top it should have player avatar.
Size, yeah, and in that drop down menu there's large, regular, small, and names only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine. We don't need text. We just need images. So you guys all joined from the west of the creek, a little bit further away from the sinkhole. So if you guys can all place yourself on the left of the map, because you guys need to be able to move your tokens.
Yeah.
How
Do,
do
do,
I
do.
actually do
Wait,
that?
why am I so small?
Why not
You
just
said that.
I'm
I
not
think you
supposed
can
to
make
be this
yourself.
tiny.
Yeah, I think you can make yourself bigger. Like,
You can, I can't.
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
we don't have access to edit the tokens at all, I don't think.
Sea-Watch got shrunk on the way over here.
Oh no. I'm a mini con now.
I'll just make the two parts a
There.
bit bigger.
There we go. There we go.
There we go. Here are intrepid heroes. Okay, so this black hole that you can see on the map is the sinkhole. There is little obstructing you from actually getting there. So the sinkhole is just next to the dried up creek, as you can see. But other than that, there isn't much to assess about the situation yet.
Okay. I guess we'll probably still be in alt mode form, so he's in the form of the SUV rather than his bot mode on display on the token. But Sea-Watch will just kind of radio in to the others and just say, if this is a sinkhole, I do have my tow cable. We can probably try and drag whoever's stuck down there out if we can get a solid grounding, and you guys can set up the winch. Well, I can, but like you make sure it attaches to him, because I can't really tow him up while also looking down the hole, unless I go into bot mode. But then I don't know if are they okay with us being in bot mode yet, or people still are we still just vehicles only? I can't remember what the policy was.
I was in bot mode earlier.
Oh,
Was I not supposed to be?
I guess as long as no one saw you, that's
People
kind of
know
not.
that you are rescue robots. They just don't know that you're aliens.
okay.
Oh, great.
So just
Yeah,
no showing any personality or sense of self. That's
I've managed to see.
Exactly.
That's boring.
I've managed to seed some rumors about some robots that I've made. I mean, I'm sort of known as rescue team science person, so I've kind of
okay.
been subtly hinting to people that I've been working on some rescue robots.
So any
so-
personality quirks things can just be played off as technical errors.
Yeah,
Not
just
saying
glitches,
anything you make would have technical errors. Just okay. I'm just see what changes into his alt mode.
It's honestly a miracle if something I make doesn't have technical errors at the start. It's fine.
Nice.
That's just how science works.
You said that there was something like blocking us from getting all the way to the sinkhole?
There's not much. This is a pretty flat plain. There's trees on either side of it, and there's some small rocks. But like, it's just a fairly regular piece of like low-level wetland.
Awesome.
All right. I'll then get my tow cable and winch ready on my kind of on Sea-Watch's. I'm guessing in alt mode it might be attached to like his forearm. It's integrated into him.
Yeah.
And we'll just kind of proceed forward. Probably putting too much effort into having really robotic, like slow steps.
Switchback will bolt forward.
Yep. Okay, we're going fast then. And I'll quicken my pace a
As
little
you're
bit.
making slow steps, Seawatch,
Oh,
and could you make for me a what are your stats? What is
stats.
Could you make for me an alertness skill check, please?
Gotcha. Okay, so I roll a D2 for that.
You roll a D20
Oh,
and
do
a
20
D2.
plus. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So I can. All right, I can roll the D20 there, and then I can just slash roll 1d2. There you go. All right, total of 13.
That's good. You passed the skill test. So you notice that the ground underfoot is squishier than you'd expect it to be usually. And because of the proximity to the creek, you can probably guess that it's something to do with the fact that the ground around here is quite waterlogged. And so it might be dangerous to do any kind of digging or to get too close to the sinkhole.
Gotcha. And the others have all just rushed off ahead of me.
I
Exactly.
have to see.
And I just
I've assumed
yelled.
that I'm still riding Switchback.
Oh yeah, no, that makes sense. Sea-Watch has these project. This ground's very waterlogged. I wouldn't get too close.
Noted. Switchback.
What's that?
The ground is very unstable. Maybe don't get too close to the sinkhole. How long has the creek been dried up? Out of interest, do we know? It's a recent occurrence that has anything to do with the fact that the ground is really squishy and there's a sinkhole.
So the creek, in terms of when it's filled with water, it only really gets filled due to quite heavy rainfall, and only for a couple of days afterwards, where until like all the water kind of sinks through and gets soaked up by the ground. And this
So it's
area
like almost
is
like a. Sorry.
no, go ahead.
So it's like almost like a kind of runoff gully rather than like a permanent sort of stream or watercourse kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
I will come to like a very harsh halt.
What? Oh, Switchback. Humans can't take that much G-force.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. You're not metal.
We squishy. Oh, it's okay. We're good.
No
Um,
hay fever.
No hay fever. Just squishy.
Sea-Watch
Rose is
is.
gonna hop off Switchback.
I'm just getting a little bit closer. You guys able to get close carefully and see if we can see who's stuck down there?
Yeah, we're probably a lot. I imagine our ground pressure is lower, so I am
would
going to
we
say
be
that
able to
out
get a
of
close and get a look?
Yeah.
Would
I'm
this
gonna say that
be an instance that my caterpillar tread on my wheels would be helpful?
yeah,
For me.
So
help get traction on the squishy grounds at least, I guess.
yes. So it's kind of like through all the various bits of equipment. Okay. Let's cut support. This won't really be classed as rough terrain, but if you would like to try and get a driving skill test to be able to get a closer look as well, I'm all for that.
I do have land specialization in driving.
Yeah, so let me just pull it up for you, and I'll tell you what you need to roll. Driving on land specifically, so you are rolling with a specialization and an edge with a D4.
So D20 plus G4.
So you are specifically rolling Okay, so you are specifically rolling the D20, the D4, and the D2. And we are going to take the 2 highest results. So the D20 and whichever is higher are the D4 and the D2. Rolling gets weird.
So that's an 18.
That is an 18. I'd say this would be pretty challenging, so you'd need to get higher than a 15 anyway, so yes. As long as you are careful, you would be able to drive slightly.
I'll come out of my alt mode. Too. Just carefully step.
Ooh, can I say that I would like to make a science check to just out of stuff in my pack make like not snowshoes but like to sort of spread weight for moving around? Oh, can't hear you, Clay? I don't think your voice is getting transmitted. You're just not lighting up. Can anyone else hear Clay?
I can't hear.
No.
No.
It's like your microphone's not activating. Discord isn't transmitting anything. Roll20 sometimes tries to. Okay. Maybe. No, it's still not lighting up. Have you gone into the Discord settings to like the voice and video settings and see what mic it's using? It's really hard.
Just wondering if what might have been done to change the output.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a really weird. Maybe try leaving Discord and just rejoining. That fixes a lot of weird Discord glitches. Lip reading, but can't hear you. Oh,
The GM is gone. Now we retake Cybertron.
anarchy!
Okay, I'm back.
Yay!
There you go.
Huzzah!
So I just needed to leave.
That's
I
usually how
love it
Discord
when
works.
Discord works.
Yeah, Discord works. Yay!
Yeah.
So yes. So I was just about to pull out your sheet, wasn't I? Yes, I was. So I'd say this would count as technology, and you have a D4 in that because you put 2 points into it.
But I get I've got 2 points chosen and 2 points innate, so I get a D8 total. That's what it means in the two things where I've got 2 spots. It means the D2 is something I get, and then I put 4 more points in it. For example, for science.
Oh, okay.
That was just something for me to keep track.
So you say
it's
that you
the highest one. It's the highest one in any.
So you roll with a
thing that
D8.
I've got.
You don't have a specialism in it. Okay, so could you roll me a D20 and a D8, please?
Will do. That is a 16 on the D20 and a 1 on the D8.
Yeah, no,
That's
that's a really
17
good
total.
roll. And because you're using a standard kit to do that, that would be perfectly fine. So yeah, you managed to cobble something together, probably out of it. I don't know, some bits of plastic, probably that are probably used for something to do with medicine.
I was imagining like maybe the boxes of first aid kits or something, like the lids of various things, just to like make something to spread weight.
Yeah, no.
With that, I would like to cautiously approach the edge of the hole and call in. Hello, is anyone down there?
So you do this, and almost instantly, a very angry old man who sounds vaguely familiar calls out, "Well, it's about bloody time!"
I'm sorry, we got here as soon as we could. We only just got your rescue call. How are you doing down there?
It's cold, dark, wet, and I'm pretty sure something slithered in here with me. So I'm doing fine.
Oh, he's doing okay.
Are you hurt at all?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Well, we're a rescue team. We need to know how much help you need.
So this voice just stops responding to you at this point. If you would like to try and make a skill test to see whether or not this voice will carry on talking to you and actually answer your questions.
Sure, why not?
I would like to call out. Oh fuck, my mind's gone blank. Never mind. If someone wants to try and yeah. Sorry, I'm gonna need a moment to get my head back in the game.
No, it's fine. And remember, just watch the language. Just watch the language.
Yeah.
I could go. I'll like lean forward and go. You said you're fine, but you're still in a hole. Do you still want us to help you? Because that's what we're here for.
Okay. So, which would you like to be the one to make the persuasion check?
I can make. I have a D6 in persuasion.
Oh.
Ooh. I've
Okay.
absolutely no points in whatsoever. So
roll me that D20 and that D6.
Smooth talking Cybertronian over here.
A 19.
Oh, and that passes that difficulty 15 with flying colors. You guys are rolling so well.
Yeah.
They're gonna get much worse.
It's like the voice calls back up to you. I don't know who you are.
Hi, I'm Switchback.
And I don't know why you're saying. Oh, young ones today and their weird names.
So please, we're a rescue. Do we have an official rescue team name?
You're just the Griffin Rock Rescue Team.
We're the Griffin Rock Rescue Team. We're here to help. I promise you.
Ugh.
Look,
Well, if you say it like that, got a bit of a leg thing.
Okay, is it broken, or if we come down, would you be able to to get into a harness to pull you up out of there, or do you think you need a stretcher to get you out of there?
Well, I don't know. You're supposed to be the rescue team.
Well, we haven't seen you yet. Can you put any weight on your leg?
No.
Doesn't it make sense to just send someone down there? Worst case scenario, we would have to pull 2 people up.
Yeah, I'm imagining that by this point the winch and rope and things is probably set up with maybe a harness.
I've been slowly approaching, very carefully with my steps, just getting my tow cable ready.
Okay. So we are going to attempt to lower somebody down into
Yeah.
the pitch black hole.
Do we have a light?
We must do, surely.
Well, I have a survival kit, which I am assuming would include a torch.
Yeah.
I'd also imagine that the two Cybertronians here probably have enough LED lights in ourselves.
We probably have
headlights.
Yeah.
Just swing it out on a little sneakily transformed arm or something into the hole.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'd say that would be something pretty easily accessible in a standard pack, so I won't make you roll a requisition it. So we have So Bramble has a torch that they get out of their pack. So we have a tow cable and we have a torch set up. Who is going into the hole?
I'd be quite
I
happy
guess
to go into the hole.
I've
Okay.
got a medical kit, so I was going to say maybe it makes
I mean,
me go down, or
I have a
This
survival kit
single-
and a first aid kit. I'm
that
packed
works.
out.
Yeah, first aid kit
Okay.
makes more sense for a first thing, and then when we get him up here, we can use the medical kit if needs be. Makes sense to me.
Okay, so we have the person picked out. I'm gonna have to get you to make another skill check. Ooh, and you. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to make a brawn skill test without a specialization. Without any points in it. So if you're rolling a skill that you don't have any ranks in, I need you to roll 2 d20s.
If I'm lowering them down, am I able to assist in any way? If I'm lowering them down on my winch?
Yes. Yes. So what do you have any specialty in brawn?
I think I have some brawn.
Yeah, so
Deep
you
brawn,
have
brawn.
okay, so we will consider this a team task. That is a good point. So if you
Yeah.
also want to roll a d20 and a d4.
Gotcha.
Can I claim that I'm doing anything with like a tech or a science check to like make sure that the harness is all good or anything like that? Or is that a bit overkill?
Overkill. We've managed to get a success out of one of you. So that means that overall the team succeeds.
Huzzah.
The dreaded nat 1.
That's right. But yes, so it is a success. So Sea-Watch gently lowers Bramble into the sinkhole. The walls are very slippy, so Bramble does have some trouble at some points just scaling it. But you manage to reach the bottom and find the voice of a very irate man. It took you bloody long enough, and get your feet off my leg.
Very sorry about that. Can I take a look at that leg?
If you have to.
Right. So I'd like to take a look at the leg and try and see if it's like what state it's in.
Okay.
Hold it
I'd
up.
say you would be medically trained, so I won't make a roll for it, and he has told you that something's up with it. So it isn't broken, but it is quite badly sprained at the knee.
Right.
And you are now with the source of the voice, so I can reveal that this is somebody that you recognize. His name is Old Man Simmons, and he's quite notorious in the Griffin Rock community for complaining about his age, being the ripe old age of 62, and also just being generally unpleasant to be around a lot of the time.
That sounds about right.
And so, yeah, 62-year-old with a sprained knee.
Right. So I can see you sprain your knee. I think with just a knee sprain, we'll be able to get you into a harness and out of here in no time.
I don't want to put on no gosh darn harness.
Well, we can get you into the harness, or we can leave you at the bottom of this hole. I mean, the choice is yours.
You just hear like a fine.
Okay, I'd like to help Old Man Simmons into. I assume there is a harness like involved in this situation.
Yeah, there is a harness involved in this situation, and it all goes well. Sure, he has a bit more of that kind of old person grumbling that isn't really making words, but more just making sounds.
Yeah, like a.
Yeah, to kind of voice his displeasure. But other than that, you guys have managed to persuade him enough to be at least semi-pleasant. So
Pleasant
yeah,
is better.
Old Man Simmons is in the harness. What are we doing now?
All right, let's get him up. I am
Alright.
either assuming that you guys can hear over like some kind of comms.
Yeah, we do have communications, so I think you can just
But I mean,
Just
we were
call it
just
in.
like talking to him in the hole just by like yelling. So like, I imagine
Calling
we
him
would have
down.
overheard that.
yeah.
So I will be preparing my medical kit as you come back up, ready to
yeah.
get the spray into some kind of brace or splint or something like that.
In any case, then, Clay, would you say it'd be in terms of getting them up safely and stably without any like, likelihood of danger or like causing more sinking of the ground? Would it be better I do that in my alt mode as like the SUV, or do you think in my bot mode?
Given the instability of the ground and the fact that your tires might slip, I'd say doing it in your bot mode would be your best option.
Gotcha. In that case, I will carefully getting a steady stance, preparing my tow cable to winch it in, and just be ready to carefully move them and get them out of that sinkhole. Would this what skill would this come under, would you say? Athletics, Boron? Or
This would be athletics.
gotcha. I got D4 in that. It's all good. Alrighty. So D20, 14, 16.
Still such great rolls.
Yeah, we're getting them all here. They are going to nosedive as soon as any real danger occurs. I
Hey,
just
you
know
never
it.
know. My game, they were rolling.
I mean, it's
great the
rescue
entire
bots.
time.
It fits. Yeah.
We're gonna do anything. We're gonna rescue someone.
Yeah, in Mason's game, our first rolls of the game were trash, and then it was just uniformly pretty great from that point on.
Ooh. I was gonna say, I wonder if the opposite will happen here. So yep, it all goes pretty successfully. Once again, the sinkhole is still pretty slippy, and so like as you get pulled up, Bramble and Old Man Simmons get covered in mud. So this old man has gone from annoyed to angry as this has gone on. But you make it out of the sinkhole.
Hello.
As you like give the hello, see what just kind of looks over to you, and you just see from behind his face, but he's like shaking his head, like, "No, we're supposed to be robots."
Hello.
See what just trying to maintain cover, like he's standing really like stiff after like accomplishing his task, and he's just his head lowers in, just like, oh, never mind. I'll have to switch. It's just like, hi.
It's gonna say, really, what's going on with the whole robots in disguise thing?
Yep, it's wiped out, gone. At least it's with the old man no one believes the stories of, so.
I was just gonna say, he's too angry to like notice something that small at the moment, so like just don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, Mr. Simmons.
Well, I'll agree with you about the second part, but can't say that this morning has been all that good.
Yeah, that's fair. Could I take a look at that leg for a moment? We've got some more. I've got a more extensive medical kit here, so We can get you in a splint so that you can hopefully put a little bit of weight on it, and we can get you home.
Fine.
So I
And-
would like to stabilize leggy.
Yeah,
I guess that's a
and
science roll.
science. Yeah, science would come under medical stuff. So,
That's a 19 total.
ooh, yeah, no, it's a pretty routine thing for you, so it would have been difficulty 10 anyway. So a 19 absolutely smashed it. This is the best first aid that this old man has ever gotten. You did it impeccably. His leg is put into the splint, lovingly wrapped. It's all neat and stuff.
His leg is better than it was before now.
Yeah, this-
Exactly.
They've enhanced it with Cybertronian technology.
Yeah, I'm using gadgets that that I've developed to like help soothe the arthritis. You know, like.
But it's not like old man Simmons will actually appreciate it.
No.
Of course not.
No. So, is anybody going to ask him how he ended up in the hole?
I looked
Yeah,
to see
how-
what
Yeah,
to see if I could ask.
Yeah,
See what
I
you look-
am curious how he ended up in the hole.
Yeah, I guess like as I'm like managing a leg, I'll try to make small talk with him and say like, "So, what are you doing out here? How did you end up falling in the hole?"
Okay, just going to get rid of the map. Don't need it anymore. It's like, like his face like goes from angry to like what might pass as interested in the conversation. Like, well, if you're curious, and I expect you are, but
Cool.
there's been rumors going about that somebody's seen the Wanderer recently.
The
The
Wanderer.
Wanderer?
Oh, you know. You've lived on this island long enough to know. The Griffin walk round. I knew this was going to happen. I can't say it. Griffin Rock Wanderer.
That's like the name of the game.
You know, it's like, where else would he be other than out in the woods?
I suppose so. Yeah. Do we actually have knowledge of the Wanderer specifically?
I'd say that the humans do. So the Griffin Rock Wanderer is kind of like the island's version of Bigfoot. You know, ape kind of creature, probably brownish fur, stands at about 7 foot. You know,
No, it's tiny.
I'm gonna say, you know, the old Bigfoot pose. There's like one reported like photograph of it, and that's it. There's a bit of an
Very
urban legend.
blurry.
Yeah, exactly. The whole shebang.
Sea-Watch, what's the Griffin Rock Wanderer?
I kind of, I have no idea. Maybe some sort of beast or creature, or perhaps some sort of mysterious. I don't know. This sounds dangerous. It sounds like one of the things you'd like find on the Jungle Planet, you know, or like.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
a
in
rep-
there now.
Yeah, let's just listen. And then you need to knock it off. They're gonna be able to tell we're not just robots. Keep being all smiley, hunky dory with them.
So I'm gonna
So-
like continue talking to them about it and try and like do it in a way as to sort of kind of give a little bit of exposition to the robots, the concept.
Gotcha.
It's like,
So
of course, yeah. Have you ever seen the Wanderer? Have you had any luck searching for it?
once when I was a lad, but Can't say that I've seen it since. But you know how it is, these elusive things.
Big tall cryptid in the woods, yeah. When you saw it, what? When you saw it, where was it that you saw it?
The thing is, the nature reserve wasn't a thing back then. Not to say that I'm old or anything, but
Oh,
gonna say back then this bit of the island was just woods. We just kind of chucked metal into, but we weren't using it.
did the metal go anywhere, or is it still out here?
I'm sure they cleaned it up when the island went through its whole gotta be eco-friendly thing back in the 90s.
And so, I hope so. So, did you? So you didn't have any luck spotting the Wanderer today?
No. Well, if you think I did, do you think I would have been in a hole?
No.
I don't know. I mean, you might have been. I thought maybe you might have been chasing him, or maybe trying to hide from him.
Well, I wasn't, and I'm quite insulted by. And he just goes off on a rant.
I just look over to Switchback. It seems that Fall has sent this man into a state of delirium. Are they going to help him, or I feel bad just watching him go into this tirade of. I don't quite compute with it. All right, I'll just watch.
I started zoning out halfway through what you were saying.
So as this is going on, you hear a voice from the other end of the clearing, so the opposite direction that you guys came from, that goes further into the nature reserve. Like a younger voice than Old Man Simmons, just kind of calling out to you guys like, "Hey!"
Hello there.
And you see this young man, dressed in a ranger uniform for the park, kind of sprinting up to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Before he arrives kind of in front of you guys, kind of keeled over, standing away from the sinkhole, mind you.
Are you okay?
This is like, yeah, just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Oh my god, you'd think with my job I'd be a little bit more in shape.
Hey, take this. I'm gonna hand him a recovery isotonic drink thing.
It's like, oh, thanks, and he drinks it, and then clears up a little bit. It's like, so yeah, Ranger Parkins. Gosh, we probably met before, but it can't help to reintroduce yourself. Yeah, I'm the one that made the call about Simmons over there. Yeah, I tried to warn him before he slipped in, but as you can see, he's not the best listener.
Maybe.
And I was gonna say, I can't help but notice you guys were talking. Anything happened down there, or do you need to go to the health center?
It might be just as well just to get checked over. We're pretty sure he's just got a sprained knee, so we've strapped it up so that he's a little more comfortable. But yeah, could probably do more thorough looking at him. Exactly.
Ah, darn it! This is what I told him. Don't go up to the creek looking for the Wanderer.
It's not the first time this has happened, perhaps?
Well, not specifically this, but the old man's been looking for the Wanderer as long as I've been a ranger. Keeps trying to stir everybody up to go on this mass hunt for it. No,
Do you know why he's so interested in it?
Hmm?
Do you know why he's so interested in it?
something about seeing it as a boy. I never pay attention to his stories. At this point, I've heard it a million times, and I'm probably going to hear it a million times again. But the wonder it just doesn't exist. And no offense, but the last thing I want is half the town coming up here to, trample over off the trails of the nature reserve and ruin, all the stuff that we're supposed to be keeping safe by having the nature reserve. Just go chasing monsters in the woods.
Understandable.
I'm gonna say, especially with all that stuff that's been happening at the ranger stations recently. This is the last thing I need on my plate.
What's been happening over there?
Oh, you guys wouldn't have to worry about it.
Sure, we might be able to help.
Well, if you insist, then you can clearly tell that he was fully leading you guys on by saying this.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, something's been, popping up out of the underbrush and scaring folks. Well, this isn't really bear country, so I can't think about what it would be. But maybe just some kind of large rodent. But either way, it's whatever it is also ransacking all of the emergency ranger stations, beating up a bunch of machinery that's up there, and then stealing all the supplies that are supposed to keep people safe.
Be a rodent of unusual size then. I didn't think they existed. we could help you.
Certainly have a look.
Oh, would you? And don't worry about all men's. I'll take your hands and drive him back to town and get him looked over.
Thank you.
So, just to clarify, did Ranger Parkins say that it'd been ransacking supplies and the machinery, or just destroying the machinery?
Destroying the machinery, ransacking the supplies.
Hmm.
If we were to go and investigate, where has this been happening? Where should we go to?
Well, then it's been happening in a few places. Last couple I haven't exactly had all that much time to go over and fix, because, keeping an eye on, that old bat. Old bat Simmons hears this and doesn't really end his rant, but, interrupts it to yell, and then goes straight back into insulting you guys some more.
Mm-hmm.
This is like, the nearest one is about a mile that way, and he just points off into the tree line.
Thank you. Well, if you are happy taking old man Simmons to the medical centre, then we could go and have a look, see if we can find anything.
Yeah. So you guys want to go and investigate the ranger station?
Absolutely.
Once Ranger Parkins and Old Man Simmons are out of earshot, I look to switch back and just say, "You know what this sounds like?"
Sounds like something doesn't like machines.
No. It
We're
might be
machines.
I know it might be a Predacon. Or I don't. It sounds like it's animalistic, and I don't know. I'm just maybe. After a while, the tirade he was going on started getting a little bit, It might. I don't know. It sounds like it could be something, not of Earth, maybe.
Do you think it's like us?
Maybe. Okay, I don't know. I think if anyone's gonna deal with monsters in the woods, probably better the 10-foot tall walking, talking robots.
Yeah, but it's
We'll deal with
been destroying machinery. We're machinery. Could destroy that.
Well, that's Earth machinery. We're Cybertronian.
Right.
I need balance.
forgot.
It's just built different.
Built different.
Yeah. I'll
and
come.
you guys can fight back for a start.
Yeah, and
I can't imagine the
Sea-Watch
ranger equivalent would be sentient.
is particularly good at tracking.
Okay.
So,
So,
Where's Barry?
so you guys are going to head off into the direction of the ranger station. So, okay. So you guys head off into the woods. The brush is pretty thick, so your robot companions need to kind of duck a little bit to kind of not get hit in the face by trees, or they can just keep walking through them. They probably-
Sea-Watch is very, very careful, and like is making a conscious effort to avoid as much damage as possible. If there's any point, there's not really any pathway to move through in alt mode. Would you say no? Okay.
No.
Then he's stepping very carefully.
This is off the beaten trail.
Yeah.
I would be able to go into alt mode since I have the caterpillar tread and pile driver.
You could, but you probably stir up a lot of the underbrush.
That is, yeah.
Like you fully could,
You
but
can
like
do that, but you will gain my disapproval.
doing it within eyesight of Sea-Watch.
Starting problems.
Yeah. I start getting ready to throw a life preserver at your head at high velocity.
Just a self-driving motorcycle, like riding slowly next to Rosie.
Okay, so eventually, after treading carefully through the underbrush and all the trees, you reach a clearing as well as the old ranger station, the Parkins mentioned. It is a fairly standard-looking like building that would exist in the middle of the woods. It's kind of cubic, concrete. Wouldn't really see that it's a ranger station if not for like a little wooden sign that's over the door that says so. And this is Ranger Station 1. So yeah.
Turn back into my bot mode.
So did you say the building was made of?
Concrete.
Okay, so I'm just going to. This feels like it's. You'd think the Rangers would pick like something a bit more like nice and blending in with the natural environment, and not just this slab of stone in them. I'm getting off track.
Maybe it's an aesthetic choice.
It's a poor one, if so.
Maybe they
Would one of
repurposed
the
the building.
humans like to make a culture check to try and explain why exactly this building is the way that it is? Because there is a reason.
I'm happy to do so.
Okay.
Go for it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a manual roll because roll 20 is doing my head in. I just
Yeah,
need
no,
to.
that's fine. Yeah, so gonna need 2 d20s.
All right, that's a 10.
Okay, so that's the 10. Just good. So this you know from Griffin Rock history, which is pretty well documented because of the nature of the island, that this is actually a building left over from the Cold War, similar to many of the tunnels and a lot of the older scientific buildings on the island. And many of these buildings were placed on the Griffin Rock coastline, as well as a little bit inland, to act as additional security for the military outposts that existed on the island at the time.
Right, yeah, I'd like to communicate that to our two Cybertronian friends. I'm sorry, I don't have the words to. You both had that.
Yeah, no, that's all right. I just see what was be like. So the island was kind of caught in the middle of its own civil war like ours was then all across the
A little
planet.
bit. It never could be a hot war with, well, never directly between the two major powers anyway. But yeah, two superpower nations were standing off against each other.
There's one thing that seems unfortunately universal, that wherever there are different groups, those different groups don't get along.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So you were at war and it was really cold.
Hmm.
Sure.
Sorry.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I mean a lot. Yeah.
other than that, would anybody like to do any investigating? Look around a bit, make some skill
Um,
checks.
I'd
Yeah.
like to have a rummage about with Berry.
Would I also be able to potentially do either the same or assist in that regard? Since I think we're both pretty good at survival.
Would you like to do that inside or outside the bunker?
Maybe you do inside, I do outside, considering I doubt I can fit in.
Oh, I was gonna go outside, but I'm happy to go inside because I think that was also where the fellow was getting in. So yeah, I'll go inside. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
And then I'll have a look around the outside.
So yeah, you guys would both need to make alertness skill checks.
Would survival potentially or not?
Oh, since you're outside, survival would be the better one. So
Gotcha.
Robin, you need to make an alertness one, and perception does come into this.
I was
You
gonna
do things
say,
with
can I do perception? But that's D2. I'll just get Google to flip a coin.
Yeah, no, that's
Mm.
fine. We'll do Robin's first.
Yeah.
All right. So that's a 9 and a 1. So 10. Do I add them
10?
together? Yeah.
Yep, you add them together, and that is good enough. So, like Parkin said, every bit of the emergency gear that you know should be in the station is missing. And the technology that he did also mention is mostly communication, so it's stuff like radios, as well as a small generator that have just been completely smashed.
Is there any kind of machinery or technology that survived?
I wouldn't say not really.
Could I make
Yeah,
a
no.
could I make a tech or a science roll to see if any of it is like salvageable or like relatively easily fixable?
Sure.
So 38. Oh, it's a 9.
So, you have a specialism in technology though, so did you also roll the d6, the d4,
Oh.
and the d2?
No, that's a very good point. Yeah. Heck. Right, there we go. And I guess I'll roll another d4 for the d2 and just overflow if it's 3 or 4. That's plus 6 total, so that's 15.
15. Okay, so the technology that has been like broken has mostly been thrown to the floor, so the communication stuff is broken for its intended use, but there are definitely parts that are still salvageable. The generator, though, absolutely not. It looks like somebody went at this thing with something metal.
Okay, so can I try doing a little repair on the stuff that looks like it could be repairable?
Yeah, if you want to.
Because I've got a repair kit.
Yep, absolutely.
So I guess that'd be basically same roll again, I imagine. Do I get anything for being proficient in the repair kit, or is that just...
The repair kit, because it's being used in this way, also comes with the technology specialism.
Right. It's basically the same thing. Wow, those are two absolutely awful d20 rolls on top of each other. 1, 4, 7, 10, 13 is... No, 11 is the total.
Right. So 11. So yeah, you can patch it back together with the stuff that you have on hand. And now the ranger station has a perfectly working radio again.
Hooray!
However, because nobody's on the other end of the receiver, it's just picking up static if you try to use it.
Fair. Just in case there's anybody listening to the Ranger radios anywhere, I will make a quick test broadcast. Hello, testing. This is Ranger Station 1. Radio is fixed. Have a nice day. Over.
Great. So we are going to pivot to outside of the station with our two subterraneans, and you wanted to make a survival skill test, right?
I was gonna say, would you say that my it's not a specialization, well, it's specialization that I'm not trained in, but the tracking one I have from my hunter perk, would that come into play to grant me an edge?
Yes. So what is your thing for?
So I've got up to a D6 in survival, and then the specifics are for the hunter. Forgetting the right word. I've got the page up on here. I'll get it in a second. For my with my hunter influence, the perk is that survival specialization, that being tracking. Even if I'm not invested in it, I gain an edge on skill tests when that specialization comes into play. And so I've got tracking as my one for that.
Yeah. So you'd roll. So for an edge, they work slightly differently from upticks. So you instead roll 2 d20s.
Mm-hmm.
You take the highest result of those,
And then I
just
add my
them to
D6.
whatever you get on your other dice.
Yeah, I've got up to a D6 for survival. So
Cool. So
I
whichever of the
roll 2 D20s. That is all right, a 9, which is not great. But and then 12.
Yeah. The skill checks at this bit aren't all that much. So in the area there are footprints that seem to be humanoid, leading from the range station and then back again. They have distinguishable toes, so somebody must have been running around the forest barefoot.
Gotcha. I'm looking at them. What are these strange, like, digits poking out? Because Sea-Watch has only ever seen you guys wearing shoes, so he does not know humans have toes yet. Because he does not. Because he's Subtronian and our heads are just one thing. So he's looking at them very confused. Just like, get over here, switch back.
What is it?
There's these weird, like, 5. Is it 5 toes on the footprint?
Yeah, it's humanoid, so it's 5 toes.
These 5 jutting little things at the end of their ped marks. I mean, you've got wheels, so I know you don't really have like
I don't. Yeah.
gesture to my feet. But like, what are these?
Would we be overhearing this on the comms? Or would we be outside already?
Not just yet.
Okay.
Could be some kind of creature. What if it's the wanderer that the guy was talking about?
Maybe. But I mean, we've got digits on our servos, and he's looking at his hands essentially, but not on our peds. That's strange. Do you think? You said they're leading. Oh, sorry. What were you gonna say?
I said the humans are the same way.
Wait, what?
Right? They've got the hands and then the.
Yeah, they've got flat heads like the rest of it.
Okay, I think at this point the humans are over here.
They've got like different colors sometimes, and they sometimes change shape. I assume maybe they take parts off and put them on. You know, I know some people like to do that. I know a guy who switched like entire chassis colors every day.
Hey guys, what's up? Have you found something?
Yeah, weird head prints in the ground where they've got these weird like digits on their. What do you call these things? Like point to like, what do you call these?
Oh, fingers?
Yeah, they've got
fingers on their feet?
Yeah, like that.
Like toes?
Like what?
Like his cable?
Yeah, like this.
Oh, I see. No, so we're wearing coverings over our feet, with
Like
shoes,
armor?
but I guess so. Yeah, a little bit to stop our feet getting hurt by anything sharp on the ground, because we're very
Mhm.
squishy.
Yeah.
But on our feet we have 5 digits. Like we have fingers on our hands, we have toes on our feet.
Just looks over to Switchback.
I don't like that.
Yeah, no, that's weird.
This footprint does look very large for a human, though. I'm assuming. I mean, given that you described the Wanderer
Yeah.
as like 7 feet tall.
Yeah, how big is how big are the footprints?
Hmm.
Should say
Like,
closer to human size or closer to Cybertronian foot size, or in between?
in between, they're large for a human, so like the foot size of the average like basketballer.
So
Okay.
like size 13, 14 shoes or something.
Yeah.
These are big feet. I mean,
what
I-
human is walking around barefoot anyway?
I don't know. Can I tell if the footprints look specifically human shaped or whether they're slightly different? Because like whenever you see like cryptid Bigfoot, like supposed footprints, they're always like slightly more like sort of ape-like. So is it a bit like that?
It's somewhere in between.
Hmm. Yeah, these don't look like human footprints exactly.
Hmm.
Maybe there is something interesting going on here.
Hmm.
Well, if we have a footprint, we have a fair shot at tracking it. If this is the
Yeah.
thing that trashed the ranger station
And push the old man in the hole.
and potentially pushed the old man in the hole, I think he just fell. But you know,
Yeah.
if we find this guy, then maybe it'll stop Old Man Simmons getting himself into more trouble.
Hmm.
Mm,
And we can confirm whether or not it's a Predacon.
we can confirm.
You having no idea what that means? I'm just like nodding my head like yes.
So while this
Yeah.
discussion is going on, Hannah, Rosie notices something next to the door of the ranger station that looks quite interesting to her scientific mind.
Oh, I would like to go and investigate.
So next to the door is a panel, like a small metal panel that doesn't really stand out much from the concrete until you kind of get up close, and it has what looks like some small metal panels in it. So it's a square and then another square inside of it with some more tiny squares.
Like a
Um,
keypad?
It looks like a keypad.
Oh.
But other than that, you just see like random bits of it because a lot of it is horribly scratched up. And there also seem to be bits of it missing that are like on the ground underneath it. So this thing has not survived whatever has gone through the ranger station. And I'm just going to give you guys the image for that because that is important. Puzzle time. Yeah, I'll give you guys the. Ooh, that is the wrong thing. I forgot how to attach things to Discord messages. So here is the first bit of the puzzle.
Oh. I just realised my laptop's not plugged in.
Ooh.
So, can I see any orange and purple bits on the floor?
And orange and purple bits on the floor. So the bits on the floor are of varying colours, none of which match the pieces that are on the ground. So whatever has ripped through the place has probably taken that, so they've been traipsed over into the woods as it's run off.
Hmm.
Are there any other coloured bits on the floor?
So there's a red one, there's a yellow one, there's a blue one.
Are they noticeably labelled?
Not particularly. Once again, these have been completely mangled. Like you think that they are supposed to slot into it, but they've been crushed in some way.
Okay, so let's make a note here of the green one is 6 and the white one is 2. Are there any particularly? Can I see if any of the bits on the floor noticeably slot in to are there any specific? Can I line up the damage potentially to see if there are any obvious slots that some should go to?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
With them being scratched up, would I be able to take a look and see if I recognize has this been scratched by metal on metal, or is this like some sort of bestial thing scratched it up, or has it been bludgeoned by a weapon?
Yeah. Yeah, you can do that. I'm just trying to think what that would be.
Alertness, or I'm
just trying to think. This might come under streetwise or science.
I'm not good at either of those.
I could make a science assist action.
You could
with
do that.
Yeah,
if you guys put your heads together, you might be able to get something.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Remind
science-
me how assist rolls work.
So you guys both roll for it, and if you guys are working together, only one of you needs to get a success.
Okay.
And because of a skill that I've got, bureaucrat. This is not a skill, in fact. That's an influence thing. I grant an edge and 1 uptick of die to an ally skill test.
Oh, awesome!
So does that
so you can
cancel
have
out?
an edge and increase a dice.
Gotcha. Okay, so that cancel out me rolling twice and taking the lower. Instead, I'd roll a d20 plus a d2.
Yes, exactly.
Gotcha.
Because of the dice ladder.
Yay! All right, let's roll. So I roll 1d20. Oh, and then 1d2. That's a 9.
The 9.
But then you get to roll.
So the skill that I've got says that I roll every science roll as if I'm specialized, but for things that I don't have a written specialism in, I get 2 dice down. So is that I roll a d6, 4, and 2?
Yeah, so you roll a d6, a d4, and a d2, and you just take whichever of those is highest to add to the d20.
Gotcha. Why have I got it? Yeah, don't need that d10. It's a 5 to add to my d20 roll, which is a 10, so it's 15 total.
Okay, so these things have been scratched up by what is probably an animal. The scratches are less refined and more like something has gone at this with hands, or at least something similar to it.
Gotcha. And it's certainly like bone or nail or something rather than metallic scratches.
It's at least something with a fine point, similar to claws.
Okay.
What material is this pad made out of? Is it metal?
It is metal.
Is it magnetic? I imagine I'd have a magnet somewhere in the repair kit.
It isn't magnetic, and because of the panels that are actually together, if you touch them, that they slide.
Oh, they move.
They move.
Ah, it's not a keypad. It's a little.
It's a slidey puzzle.
Slidey puzzle.
Okay. So I imagine we need to find the other numbers and put it in order or something like that.
Yeah,
Are we
now
able-
you. Like,
Are we
cooking
able to?
gas.
Are we able to slide them down into the places that are damaged by the scratches, or do they get stuck?
They get stuck.
Okay.
One
So
of them
we
falls
only-
out.
Okay. Or
Woohoo.
we only have
Uh-oh.
a few spaces to work with then.
But
So
this keypad, because of its proximity to the door, you can assume it's some kind of door lock.
Oh, and the
because
door's already open.
The door is already open.
Oh, so we
Yeah.
don't actually need to solve this.
No, we don't need to solve this. This is a hint for a
not this-
later puzzle.
not this
Okay.
particular one, anyway.
Okay.
Ooh. But yes. So while you guys are looking at that, Bramble and Switchback,
Switchback.
Bramble,
And
Berry, and
Switchback.
Switchback are looking around the clearing, just kind of looking about to see if there is anything else that they can spot. And while you are doing this, Berry barks at something.
Your
A real
animal
bulky
is
water
boy.
delicious.
Yeah, I'm gonna softly go, what is it? And try and get Barry to lead me closer to what she's barking at.
What is it, Barry? Is Old Man Simmons stuck in another hole again?
As you do this, something moves out of the corner of your eye/optics. Something is running further into the woods, away from you.
Is Old
What
Man
do you
Simmons'
do?
name Timothy?
We get it? I can run after it.
We get it.
I'm gonna run after it.
Okay. Is it just
Yeah.
you, or is
I'm
Bramble
going
and Berry?
to.
Yeah,
We're
you guys are
chasing
all
after
going.
this thing.
Okay, so you guys are dead sprint or dead roll into the woods. This thing has a good head start on you, despite the obvious advantage of being a 10-foot tall robot.
Would going into alt mode potentially make up for that with the additional speed?
The underbrush here is a little bit thicker than it used to, and I don't think a motorcycle would get through it.
I do have. I can treat rough terrain as standard, I believe.
Yeah. And it is a dirt bike mode.
But I can also, as a scout, burn rubber, and I gain 10 additional movement for every free action I spend in conjunction with my movement.
Okay.
I can-
That mostly comes in the combat. We can work it out how that would be thematically. But okay, so you start gaining on this thing quite rapidly, and you make out that this thing is every bit of the Wanderer was described to you earlier. Fully like humanoided shape, 7 foot tall, brown fur, but that is all that you can make out before it jumps over a ridge.
Oh,
Which you are also now hurtling towards.
oh.
I
Great,
assume
great,
I am a
great,
little.
great.
So yeah, could you make an acrobatics skill test, please?
I can. And I was misremembering Caterpillar Tread. I get an edge with navigating, driving on rough terrains. Let me see what my acrobatics is. I have a D2.
Is it a D2? You have a D4.
I have a D4.
Yeah, you have a D4. In the version
Oh,
that
I
I've
was
got.
looking at athletics.
Yeah, acrobatics.
That's
Got to be the two most commonly confused skills across any RPG.
Mm-hmm.
I know I always do it.
It was a 13.
Okay, so because of the speed that you are going at, you don't quite manage to catch yourself. You have just enough time as you are going over the chasm to transform into your alt mode and grab the side of it, but you are now in a new emergency situation.
No,
Okay.
no, the rescue bot needs rescuing.
Who rescued
Oh
the
no.
rescuer?
We might have an issue.
Would
I,
oh sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't know if they can hear, but if not, I would like to make the others aware over comms that we have a situation.
Yeah. I imagine we might have heard Switchback Transformer go bolting off.
Hmm.
You just the rev of a motorcycle that goes
Yeah, we
barreling
just
into the
get out
woods.
from the puzzle and it's like, oh, he's just sped off.
He sure has.
Do you want to? And I offer to like pick Rosie up.
Yes,
and so we
please.
can. I'll pick Rosie up, like situate her on my shoulder, and just start legging it in in that direction.
Rosie the parrot.
Yeah. I make sure because I with my form I've got like the extra crew capacity, so I like to think like where on see what your shoulders are. It's kind of it's to the point where it kind of there's almost like a seat like position, so you can sit comfortably and like hold on a bit more. Because I think with that I am able to carry people properly in my alt mode. So you're situated comfortably as and stably as I just go running off into the woods. So he's still careful not to crush anything, but also with enough pace to not just be, not to leave you dangling off the edge for too long.
Are you
Do
sitting
I see
comfortably? Then I'll go sprinting into the woods.
the guy that went over the cliff anywhere below me?
So he managed to jump over the ridge because he was actually planning for it. You, however, went over because you were speeding towards it.
So is it just like a cliff edge, or is it like a chasm with an other side?
Yeah, so it's a ridge. So there is your side and the other side, and somebody of at least 7 foot would feasibly be able to jump over it.
I should have jumped instead of braked.
So is it like a sort of chasm?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
How wide is the gap between? Is it like a significant jump? Like a normal person shouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, it's slightly above the range of a normal person. So Switchback wouldn't be able to like reach out with it.
Over. Switchback just like stretches over it and becomes the land bridge.
Yeah,
No,
it's a little bit too wide for a land bridge.
Gotcha. Yeah, I imagine since Bramble probably wasn't moving as fast as Switchback was, I imagine we catch up like midway through running up to there, and Switch is like, what happened? We were busy messing with the padlock thing.
Berry spotted something which bolted, and we went running after it. We went. I can speak today.
It's all right.
We went running after it, and I just saw her head. Switchback went over the chasm.
Oh, it'd probably be fine. I mean, we can survive longer falls. I'll go check, and I'll also offer to scoop you and I imagine Barry's probably able to leg it and catch up quite quickly. But I'll have to scoop you up as well to carry you over there a bit quicker.
That's fair. I'm happy with that.
Just running along. And then I guess as we get closer, do we see his little servos, there's little digits hanging over the edge?
Guys.
Oh, buddy, what did you do?
There was a guy.
And like a human person or like the
very hairy creature.
Okay, I'll situate you two down, and I'll just kind of walk up over to the edge. And does he look like he's dangling, like he's gonna fall any second, or just like he can't really pull himself up?
He's at least secure on your side of the chasm.
Yeah. I imagine it's probably difficult for you to pull yourself up considering your feet are wheels. So they probably just roll off the cliff face as you're trying to like take a step up.
Yeah.
I'll just kind of lean down and offer a servo to pull you up.
Take your hand.
If am I able to quite easily, or do you want me to roll?
You were lifting up an entire member of your species. So
Yeah, no, that's fair.
yeah,
Would that be
I
athletics or
make-
brawn?
that would be brawn. You are pulling something up.
Can I make a techie kind of assist with it? To like some gadget that I've got, or to like sort of anchor in, like maybe like rope and anchor to like give more of a.
You bring a
Also,
giant
yeah,
magnet. I'll also use my tow cable if I need to, but I don't know if it.
To be fair, if
assists,
somebody was assisting you with the tow cable and wrapping it around like a tree or something.
Yeah.
Can I make an assist attempt in a different skill, or does it have to be the same skill?
This would count as a survival thing, because this is like... Yeah, so if you wanted to make a survival check, and I will lower the difficulty if you succeed.
5.
The difficulty is
With a
still the
D2.
same.
You're used to rescuing people, like human people, not giant Cybertronians.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
this will still be a difficulty 13 check.
Gotcha
With
for me,
roll.
and that's right. All right, let's hope we roll well here.
I think in both games that I've played in Tablethon that play has run, I've wound up hanging off the edge of something.
I'm gonna roll the D4 first.
It's climactic! It's a cliffhanger!
All right, that's 4, so I gotta get a 9 or above
Hey.
on the D20. No, oh no, that's 1 away.
Oh no!
As I'm like pulling you up.
No.
So you don't
Long
manage
live the king.
to full switch back up, but you also don't go over.
Okay, I'm like sliding on the end, like this is...
Yeah, you're sliding a little bit now.
It's the wheels.
So you are
The
in
wheels are not
immediate
helping.
danger, but something is going to happen to change the situation.
Oh no, the gorilla man comes back. Starts
How
throwing
deep
rocks
is
at
the
us.
chasm?
Oh yeah,
Like,
how far is the drop?
The edge that
So this is a 50-foot drop.
Oh,
Ooh.
it's not as dangerous for us who are like 10 feet or more tall, but still, not great.
Not great,
Which-
no.
Yeah.
At least we're landing on it's better us to be going over this edge compared to you two, because that's a fatal drop for you two. For us, it's probably just I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
Some
I'm
stress
like
for us.
nearly 6 foot tall in real life, and I survived a 25-foot drop.
Oh,
I say
okay.
survived, I broke my spine, but I did break my spine in the fall. But details. Cybertronians are built different. It's fine.
Built different.
It's the
Yeah,
wheels.
what's the plan?
God, yeah.
Can I bodge something together with the repair kit to help, like a winch or something to like give some more leverage, or like a pulley system to try and make it easier to pull up?
I don't think that would be in the repair kit.
With sorry.
I have a large spool of rope. That is a thing I
Okay.
have. Is it possible for me to use this in a helpful way? The way I was envisioning is like tying it to a part of Sea-Watch and trying to get more leverage that way.
You want to make a winch.
I want to make a winch.
Would I be able to assist in this by using pile driver?
You are
like,
currently hanging off the edge of a cliff.
Well, to dig the wheels into the cliffside to help push up.
Let's have a look at pile driver. Keep losing the equipment. There it is.
So far we're net zero for getting people out of danger and putting ourselves in danger.
Yeah, that's risky, boss.
It's better that we're in danger than anyone else because we're professionals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could assist with this. So if you do that first, the difficulty of using the winch to help pull you guys up would lower.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd say that would be a might skill check.
For Power Driver?
Yeah, for power driver.
Okay. I don't think I've got good might. Oh, I have a D2. No. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't think I had anything in it. $17.
Nice hard roll when we needed it. Okay, so the difficulty of the winch plan has now gone down to 10. So this is a routine event. Should be pretty simple.
Is this would this count as a survival check? This
would count as a survival check, yes.
Okay, that's good because that's a D2. All right, that's a 19 without the D2.
Oh, no.
Wonderful. So yeah, your plan of using the winch. So you tie it to Sea Watch's. I want to say somewhere like around like the back of the cod piece, so like around his waist, somewhere around there. Because other than that, he's basically hunched over the cliff, trying to keep your teammate from going over further. And you kind of pull it back around a tree and start just pulling with all your might on it.
Yank.
Yeah, I'm trying to take careful, steady, like steps back that are kind of firm to the ground to make sure I'm not losing myself to slipping as I'm trying to switch back up.
And it's working. And Switchback is using the pole driver to kind of act as like a anchor point on the cliff as you're going up, and eventually you get back onto solid ground. Exhausted, but safe.
I kind of like skid my wheels and dirt goes up a little bit. Just for the drama.
Just for the
drama.
I give you like a slight, like, just gentle, like smack on the back of the helm. Don't do that again. I
didn't do it on purpose.
I know. Just look. If you're gonna go flying off of ledges, at least, have a second old mode that can fly or glide, or or do it into water, because then I can rescue you properly.
I could have made that jump. I don't know why I stopped.
You probably could have. Actually, how wide across is it?
So it's just above the average Cybertronian's arm length. So you guys could make that jump
pretty easily.
But at this point, the figure that you were chasing is long gone. There is no way of tracking it.
But that is the direction it went.
If it's organic, which if it looks like the Griffin Rock Wanderer, and I am a search and rescue dog pair, this thing has scent.
If it smells, we can hunt it.
If it smells, then Barry can track it.
Okay. Would you like
to? Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say, would we want to get to the other side maybe? Because if I can carry our humans on my in my crew capacity areas and just step over the ridge or jump over the ridge to the other side.
Gonna say you have to go for a standing jump, a standing long jump.
Yeah. As long as I'm like holding Berry, because I'm not sure she can make that jump.
No. You're holding Berry.
Yeah.
Okay, so
she's a medium-sized dog. It's fine.
What breed
Okay.
is Berry, by the way? I've been meaning to ask.
Very in my head is a border collie type, Kelpie type, kind of like working dog.
okay, so this is an acrobatic skill test.
Is it always acrobatics for jumping, or could athletics be if it's more of like a just less like fine mover, just going distance if it's based on like my physical strength, or
Athletics is more for running in this case, and acrobatics is specifically for a long standing jump, which is what you're doing.
would I not be able to get a run up?
You can get a run up.
Yeah, I was thinking run up and then. Ooh.
Okay, yeah. You could. It would still be acrobatics,
Okay.
but the difficulty would be lowered.
Okay. I'm sorry if I fail this and we all fall to our deaths. Actually, looking around, is this the only way across this ledge, or does like the creek break at a point? Like if we look to the left far enough, and it's just like, oh, we could just walk around, or is this chasm goes on for a while?
This thing goes on for a while.
Okay.
Can I transfer energon points?
Oh.
You could spend an energon point. Yeah, you could spend an energon point. What are you specifically wanting to spend that to do?
Well, I was just wondering about if Sea-Watch spends an energon point, for example, I can then transfer one to get Sea-Watch back up to full, right? Because I've got 8.
Let's have a look. You could either use an energon point or a story point, which you guys have 5 of.
Ooh.
Oh yes.
To try and mess with the rolls a little bit here.
Anything that means that I'm not just rolling 2d20s and taking the lowest.
Yeah, like an energon point can be used to ignore a snag, right?
Yeah.
Or
But
to
this wouldn't
increase
be a
size.
snag, this would be a lack of specialization. Which is something slightly different.
Is it because when you're lack of specialization? Is it lack of specialization or lack of skill?
Lack of skill.
With lack of skill, the rules are written as like roll with a snag, right? So can an energon point undo that?
So, a snag is something slightly different, where you roll without the specialization as well as. Actually, what would be a snag for lack of specialization? Oh god. Let me go with my dice, cheese. Yeah, it would. But you could easily spend a story point to treat this roll as if you had a specialization. You have a bag of 5 of those.
Yeah, could we do that and then just be able to leap over?
Yes. So you would treat it as having a specialization, so you could roll 2 d20s and take the highest of them.
Oh, okay. Instead of taking the lowest. Yeah, that sounds a lot better.
Suddenly, the results graph is like a line going up instead of a line going down.
Yeah.
Can we do that then for the jump?
Yep. So you guys have 4 story points now, but you now get to roll as if you have a specialization with that points.
Alrighty. Woo. Please roll well. Okay, it's a 13.
That's a 13, and this was a standing long jump. Okay. Not a running long jump. So you guys get over the chasm. Well, at least 3 of you do. Switchback, are you going to take a running jump?
Yeah, I'm going to take a running jump.
You've got acrobatics trained and stuff, so you'll be fine.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I say.
11.
Okay, yeah, you also make it over.
Okay.
I suddenly had a mental image of just like hanging off the other side of the chasm again.
And with that, we are going to take our break because I think this is a pretty good place to leave it before you guys go gallivanting off into the woods again. So, yes. We are going to take a 10-minute break and we'll be back at 10 past, if that is all right with the people running the stream who has to put up the funny screens.
Should we ping?
Yep.
Thank you for being a part of Sense and our work to create a world where no one is left out of life, no matter their disabilities. With the help of amazing people like you, Sense has expanded our support to over 30,000 people who are deaf-blind or have complex disabilities, parents, carers and siblings. That's 2,000 more than last year. Your generosity has enabled us to show 6,000 children and families new ways to communicate, connect and play, and give 3,400 people a chance to escape loneliness and enjoy companionship and laughter. This year too, 10,000 people loved getting stuck into our inclusive arts, sports and well-being activities. In a Sense first, 1,000 families received vital assistance from our emergency cost of living grants. Through your enthusiasm and generosity, you raised £13 million to help more people get the support they need. And our shops received over 1 million bags of donated pre-loved items. Thank you to everyone who joined us to campaign for change. 80,000 of you signed our petition calling for greater financial support to disabled households during the cost of living crisis. Groundbreaking research has shown that there are 1.6 million people living with complex disabilities in the UK. Together, we can keep expanding our reach, ensuring that even more children and adults who are deaf-blind or who have complex disabilities can take part in life. Thank you. Find out more about the difference you're making. Sense.
Hi Dan, it's Kim. What things make you happy? Travelling. Where have you been? I have been to America and some European countries. If someone saw us in the street, how would you like them to say hello to you? By deaf-blind manual on a hand.
Hello, my name's Jenny and this is Libby, and I am Libby's intervener, and that means that I help with Libby's communication. So Libby likes going to the shop, to the chemist, and buying bath creams and smellies and shampoo. So if you see Libby and I out shopping, don't be afraid to say hello to Libby, because she'd really like that.
For people she knows, she says hello by smiles and that whole body rocking music, getting quite excited. I know who that is. I know what to expect from that person. You know that Annie likes something by the way that she will look at it, she will move away, she will come back. Lots of this sideward head movement is often a sign that I'm actually quite happy, I'm quite relaxed, I do quite like it, but I will come back to it in my own time. If she really dislikes something, it's a definite throw it away, push it away, and she doesn't have that process of going backwards and forwards. If people were to see Annie out, the best way to say hello to her is to get down to her eye level and to wave and to have a nice sort of friendly smiley face.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. Gonna say before we left off from break, our intrepid heroes had just crossed the chasm and are now going after the supposed Griffin Rock Wanderer. What's your game plan?
Are there tracks?
I am hoping Berry will lead the way. If there are not tracks, to be fair, they were quite big feet, so and running at speed.
This bit of the nature reserve is kind of, nature, and so not a lot of people go into this bit other than over the trails, and so there is so much foliage, and that has been crashed underfoot, but there are less distinguishable footprints.
Then in that case, Berry might be our best shout.
Okay, so Berry's points. Dogs have 222. So it means we're making the roll for the dog. And Berry is specifically used for tracking, so that means that Berry gets an uptick in survival.
I'm allowed to assist via animal handling.
So you are technically Berry's teammate. But at that point you're just instructing Berry to do a thing.
Yeah, like from my knowledge of how search and rescue teams work, there is a fair of like the dog is doing the smelling, but there's a reason they work with a partner and you don't just send the dog off. There is an element of like human interaction there, even if it's the dog's actual nose guiding the way. Is the argument I'm making there.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
So I'd say you'd both make alertness checks.
Alertness. At the same time?
At the same time.
Okay,
And you
I
guys
just wanted
would-
to.
Yeah. Would
I don't have dog stats.
So Berry would be a 12 usually, and because you've decided that Berry is a tracking dog, I'm going to assume that you would have put a specialization, well, at least Berry's purpose, into being alert.
Yeah.
So that means that Berry has a specialization and gets a specialization treatment into that purpose. You would have an edge, and then you'd have an uptick. That
Right.
one.
Okay.
That means you'd roll a d4 for Berry.
D4. I'll get a D4, and I will get the other D20. So that's a 14, 16 for Berry.
wow. Good dog.
And for me, that's and then I'll do this. And that's an 8 for me.
Okay, so Berry succeeds in her task of catching the scent of something, and goes off in the direction that you just saw the Wanderer go. I'm assuming
Right.
the rest of the group is going to make chase after the dog.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys travel a long while through the undergrowth. What seems to be like hours, and maybe at this point the sun is getting a little bit low because you're not actually sure which direction you're going. You may have gone back on yourself at one point. You're not quite sure, but you do eventually reach another clearing with another ranger station. However, this one has a particular feature of being right next to a river.
I can do my thing.
Berry goes up to, but then seems to lose the scent.
How big is this river? Is this like is it just a small,
Just
relative
a
one, or is
small-
it much? So not enough that I could fit in it in my boat form.
You could fit, but it would be a tight squeeze. This is more like
Okay.
a river raft or a kayak kind of thing.
Okay, I should turn into a kayak.
Big kayak.
Does the door seem open on this ranger station, or is it closed?
So this ranger station, like the first one, has been ransacked.
Mm-hmm.
And so
What station number is this?
this is Ranger Station 5. So what would we like to do at Ranger Station 5, if anything?
I'd like to have a look at see if there's a keypad on the door.
Yeah. So you can make a check for technology.
Can I say I'm specialised in this?
Yep.
And with my broad understanding, specialisation, or sort of perky thing,
Yep.
it says that outside of combat, with at least one science specialisation, you roll all science skill tests as though you were specialised, although skill tests outside suffer -2 on the dice.
Yes.
But I also have technologist, which is can use either science or technology skills for scientist roll per, where normally they don't
Yeah, no,
use
that's fine.
science.
So you'd roll 2 d20s and whatever you have in technology.
Can I choose to use science there and use my science rank of having a d10 skill dice? Due to the combination of broad understanding and technologist.
Yes.
Oh,
So
I get
that's
2 d20s taking the highest, and I get d10.
yes.
And I don't roll with the add up the things, do I? Or do I? Because
So yeah, it's hard. So you get 1 d20 because this is an edge, this isn't an edge. This is a specialization. So you're rolling 1
Yeah.
d20, and you're rolling
can I d10?
D10.
And can I say that d10 is specialized?
So you're rolling a d10, a d8, a d6, a d4, and a d2. You're taking the highest result out of those, plus the d20.
Okay, so d10, d8, d6, d4, and I'm going to say that d4 is also a d2 and overflow. Good grief, I've got a handful of 6 dice that I'm rolling. On the d20, it's a 16, plus 2 is 18, plus 1 is 19, plus 2 is 21, plus 2 and an 8, which makes 29.
Cool. So yeah. So you do see the fact that there is a lock, and this one is a little bit more intact than the last one. So there are more pieces in it.
Whoa.
So let me just bring that up for you guys.
Whoa.
So there's a little bit more to this one.
2, 3, 7, and 8.
The yellow is 8. The blue is 3. The red is unknown. The cyan or teal is 7.
In the corners, the shapes are different as well.
Yeah. They're
Good point.
it's missing the second picture is missing the circle, which is on. First picture has the circle and the heart. So in the top left corner on the second picture is probably a circle.
Yeah.
So since this thing is ransacked, the door is open, so the keypad doesn't need to be solved.
Okay. But
we're
breaking it down. We're getting it.
Yes.
Are we able to? Maybe like before you guys go in, I'm just gonna peek my head in through the doorway if I can and just look around from if I can just fit my head through.
So yeah, so this ranger station is a little bit more tidy than the last one. nothing, all that much because you didn't get a good look inside the other one. But this one definitely doesn't have as much visible debris from the outside as the previous one did.
Mhm. This one's less destroyed.
Ooh.
Just thought I'd poke my head in case that thing was there and tried to scratch someone's optics out.
Good thinking, Sea-Watch. Thank you.
Takes a digit, like taps its head, and just hear a clank. Do I pick out anything of interest in particular? Maybe just having a look around.
Not particularly.
Would I be able to roll to see if I notice anything, or?
Yeah, you could take an alertness skill test.
Yeah.
This is one of the easier ones.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm more used to me suggesting a thing and then being told what to roll. But I'll yeah. No, I can. So yeah, my alertness is a D2.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll the D2s first because it feels like it's more consequential. Okay, it's 1. And oh wow, sorry, I accidentally double clicked that. So that's a total of 3. Sorry, not the second D20. I look around and I bump my optic into like a bit of jagged metal and debris on the on the broken door frame. I'm like and I like stumble out and like thump to the ground. Ow, that hurts. Just twitching, sparks coming out of his optic.
You okay?
I got some scrap in my eye. Ugh.
Oh no.
There's a ceiling there.
I saw the bit of metal that got in it. I didn't see anything else. I'm gonna sit down for. I'm gonna go sit by the river and just. I need a minute.
So it's a small enough injury that your repair nanites will like kick in
Yeah.
after like a couple minutes, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go walk over and sit by the river and maybe I don't know if Barry's still over there. Just sit with the dog and just enjoy the scenery for a few minutes, trying to get the embarrassment away.
Could I
That's
make a
fair.
robotics roll to help speed up the healing? Is it robotics for healing, cyber training?
Yeah, it is a robotics in your case for healing cyber training, and so you would get a specialization in this. That would be a technology to use your repair kit.
Yeah. 11, 13, 15, 23.
So D20 plus what was the highest of the other ones?
The highest of the other ones was 8.
Plus what was on the D20?
13.
Yeah, 21. Okay, so yeah, you'd be able to use what might be seen as quite limited human tools to at least brush the debris away from Sea-Watch's optic. And it at least allows the repair nanites to get in there a little bit more quickly so that the injury isn't, lingering.
Yeah. You see where it previously like his optical ridges and his brow is a bit furrowed at first, a bit like, oh, I please be careful. Obviously, he's got a visor up, so you can't quite see the concerned face necessarily, other than through the expression of his optics. But once you clear the debris and he blinks a little bit, like it's like the lights shut off and off, and he just kind of, oh, that's better actually. Thank you.
You're welcome. What was it that got in your eye? Did something fall from the ceiling, or?
It was just, I think, a bit of some scrap metal on the side. It's fine. I've had worse. But thank you. I appreciate it. I'm just gonna take a minute.
I might go inside and take a look, see what state the tech's in.
Yeah, just
Okay, so would either of Bramble or Switchback like to do anything while this is going on?
Maybe see if there's like other footprints around, like there were at the last ranger station.
Okay. So who would like to make that?
What kind of roll would that be? An alertness or?
That would be alertness.
Okay, I have. Hang on, let me.
You have a D2 in alertness.
I also have acute sense with my sight. I get an edge with alertness relating to seeing.
Okay, cool. So that means you roll 2 D20s, take the highest result of those two plus whatever's on the D2.
So it's
14. 11.
that's not on there. 15.
15. Yep. So there are footprints similar to the ones that you saw before. But these ones seem more rushed than they were previously, and in some ways they seem different as well. Not as heavy and sunken as the previous ones.
There are more tracks, but they're different.
Yeah, and these
Different
do not
channels.
carry on past the river as well.
So they go into the river?
They go into the river from the ranger station and then disappear.
So they don't come out the other side?
No.
Okay. That's weird. Maybe it went down the river.
I guess if you've come over to check, I'm like, with like, yeah, maybe I could see about fitting down that if we need to sail, but that we can see.
Should I go into the range station and take a look around to see what state the equipment's in, and in particular look to see whether there are any like surveillance cameras or anything that were like pointing outside that I might be able to like get images from?
Sure. That would be an alertness of difficulty, say 8.
Not great, but let's try it. 13.
13. So you don't notice any security cameras, and mind you, these old buildings aren't really wired up for it. In the first place, to be fair, they're barely wired up for the radios that they have, which is why they have portable generators. But thankfully, the radio equipment that is in the ranger station is intact. So you won't have to do any repairs in it. And the generator, while a little bit worse for wear, is still running.
Okay, that is useful. Are there any like maps around of where the other stations are?
Yeah, so on the wall of every ranger station is a fairly big board. Some of them have slightly different things to them. Between the two that you've seen, the first one had a very ripped up map, as well as just some general notice papers that were crumpled but were at least noticeable. Well, this one has a full map of the nature reserve, and once again more notices, as well as what looks like a takeout pizza menu for some reason. Maybe they deliver.
Maybe that's what the Griffin Rock Wanderer is. It's just a wilderness pizza delivery guy.
Wilderness.
And so you see that you are tens of miles from the last station. So you traveled a while, and that's probably why it took so long to get here. As it's like late afternoon at this point. But yeah, you can see the ridge that you also jumped over is a fairly continuous line across a lot of the map. So it was a better idea to jump over it instead of wandering to try and find the end of it. And there are also other ranger stations dotted about the area, but you're not sure which of those have been ransacked so far. As well as what looks like another building that's off in the way that is marked as something different than a ranger station, but you're not quite sure what that is.
Are there any ranger stations down this river?
There aren't.
I was thinking we could maybe like radio on being like, hey, has anyone seen anything coming out the river recently?
There's this one. Is there anything that anybody would like to do?
Does Bramble have anything?
Yeah, no, I'm struggling to think because I think we had a look around. We had a look around inside and outside.
It's
trying
okay
to
if not.
Yeah, no.
It's okay if not.
You said that the other building, the unmarked building that wasn't a ranger station. What direction was? Would you say that was in, Clay, from where we are?
It's tens of miles back in the other direction, so you'd have to go over the ridge again. You wouldn't make it there by sundown.
No, and it's not.
Sure.
And it has just, and it's in the opposite direction of assumably where this thing ran.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything like across the river? Is there anything, any buildings or anything noticed in that direction?
No, not really.
How well can you see through the water of the river to see like the bottom? Is it like deep? You can't see it.
It's a fairly deep river. Like you guys could probably like stand fully submerged into it.
So too deep to wade across.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got a boat.
We do have a boat.
You
Well, we
guys
have
could
sea
probably try to use some rocks that are sporadically placed throughout the river to kind of hop over it, but it is kind of wet season, so
You said it's obviously not wide enough for me to like sail on it with a lot of space. But if I transformed into my boat up mode on the river, could they just get on and then get off at the other side?
no, you'd have to travel like a little bit for them to.
No, that like, is it wide enough that I can transform on one side, they get in, I go over to the other side, they get off on that side?
Yeah, that would be fine, but you would be stuck.
If I'm stuck again, could I then just transform and then just lift myself up onto the other side?
Transform and then sink.
Well,
yeah.
Like when I'm transforming, as I'm going, is it not the case? Because I do have specifically as a cutter, have a feature of, I'll find it. With my alt mode of like, I think when I like transform to go onto land, my surface invasion one, which is like after moving in my alt mode, it's usually once per scene, but whether it essentially means like I can kind of from boat form like go up onto the land as like I'm sturging out from the water onto the land, and whether in this case it could apply to help me just get everyone across safely and get onto the other side myself.
Yeah, you could do that, but there isn't much on the other side of the river.
Well, isn't it like they've gone into the river, so assumably I'm working
Does-
on the assumption from that it's like they've crossed the river somehow and
do
they're on the
tracks
other
look
side.
like they're going straight into the river, or do they look like they're slightly turning as they get closer, as if they like turn?
They're going
turn
straight
away?
into the river, and they don't seem to continue on the other side. And Barry has seeming to have lost the scent.
Okay, I was taking it as that of like they've got into the river, and then by going through the river and onto the other side, like I might be misunderstanding of that as like they've lost the scent because it's gone through the river, it's gone where obviously and then it's maybe gone off on the other side, but it's not leaving footprints still, or it might be the case that it's gone in the river and swam off.
So they've gone into the river, and they have either left the river further upstream in an undiscernible location, or they have gotten straight out of the river and are no longer leaving footprints or a scent. Either way would be very hard to track them because it is getting quite close to sundown. And you guys still need to get back home.
Okay. Well, the sounds of it, I think I guess the logical thing is just we give up and leave. From the sounds of it.
Can
Yeah.
I have a look at the footprints? Because you said they were not the same, they were less heavy, so
Yeah, so
And then
they
slightly
start
different
off
look.
the same as before, but as they eventually go on, they start looking less like somebody's running or walking and start looking like somebody's doing some kind of shuffling motion while also getting lighter.
when they were
Are there
lighter, are
footprints,
they
like-
a different shape or size?
They don't change in shape or size, they just get less heavy up until the river.
Are there like other footprints around the river that aren't these massive footprints and that aren't ours?
Funny you should ask that.
Ooh.
So, the difficulty of this depends on who is making it. Yeah, would you like to make a streetwise check?
Oh. I can make a streetwise check. Could I use, because with acute sense, I also get arrow 1 on non-alertness skills with my chosen sense. So would that be using sight? Could I use that?
Yep, that means you would get a D2.
D2. Awesome.
Would we want to use a story point maybe at this point if to help with this seemingly very important check?
That would be.
This is a difficulty 14 check. Not exactly challenging,
But
but
what is your streetwise?
Streetwise D2.
Okay.
Yeah, so like the average roll for you here would be 13. No, 12. So like I could lend you an energon point or two to up your skill dice 1 or 2 points.
yeah,
Or give you an edge.
you could use an energy
In
point.
fact,
You've got 2, remember?
Is that for all of us?
Yep, everybody gets
Queen.
2.
Everyone gets 2.
No, I get 8.
Oh wow, that's a lot of.
I have 8.
Oh, we should be using these more.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I have 8 of them because I get they go on my highest essence skill, not my lowest.
Okay, so everybody gets at least 2 of them.
Okay. Yeah. Do you wanna? And if you use, is it the dice increases with each one you use?
Yeah, so if you use 1 energy point, you get an uptick.
Okay, maybe use 1 or 2 of those then. If
Can I
you've got them to
lend-
spare.
Yeah,
So-
could I also lend assistance?
So story points are for group things, so you can use them for other people, but energon points is something that is very specific.
Okay, gotcha.
But we can transfer energon points. So for so you using, for example, 2, I can then give 2 to replace them, and I'd still have 6, and everyone else would be full. For example.
I'm just trying to Jump points mentioned.
And if I can lend assistance, I can also do some funky things. Like, I could maybe spend an energy point to lend assistance? Question mark? Even if I can.
Oh yeah, you can use 2 energon points to regenerate an energon point in another character within their natural reach.
Yeah.
So in this case, Switchback could use 2 energon points to up their D2 to a D6 on the roll, and then then if Rosie wants to give 2 energon points back to Switchback.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't do that. Do that, Mason.
Yeah.
And I would also like to lend assistance to Switchback, which will give Switchback an edge and an additional uptick.
Okay.
Yep.
That would put it at a D10.
Yep.
It'd be D8.
D8, wouldn't it?
D8. Yes.
D2 plus 3.
Yep.
So and with the edge, it'd be 2d20 plus a d8.
Yeah.
Understand that right? Or
Where's the edge coming from?
From my bureaucrat influence, when I lend assistance, I grant an edge and 1 uptick to an ally's skill test.
Okay, so yeah, that'd be a D8 with an edge.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
okay, we need to roll. We need a 7 or higher on that d8. No.
Nope.
Okay. So I'll give you this. There are different footprints, but you are unfamiliar with the kind of footprint that they are.
Could we, the human characters, potentially, I believe, like, our local knowledge helps?
Local knowledge.
As in, like, what species of aminal made these?
Yeah. If the human wants to come over and look at it, that is a converse footprint.
Ah.
Oh.
Somebody like. And
Yeah,
are they
I
at all
was-
associated with the
What's a
shoes was old
converse?
man Simmons wearing?
Converse sounds like convert. Is it another Cybertronian?
No, it's you remember we were talking about armor for
Like
feet
conversating?
earlier?
That's not a word. Never mind.
Remember how we were talking about armor for feet earlier?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Converse is a type of armor for feet.
I see.
It's a type of shoe.
Shoe.
Was Ranger Perkins or Old Man Simmons wearing Converse earlier?
So,
Old man Simmons all decked out in his Converse.
Old Man Simmons was wearing, like, walking shoes for the environment, and Ranger Parkins was wearing hiking boots.
That makes sense.
So, both appropriate footwear for gallivanting around in the woods.
Which Converse is decidedly not.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Suspicions.
We look around to see if there's any pairs of Converse shoes in the in the ranger station.
In the river. There are.
Or in the river.
You would have noticed a pair of shoes.
Is there like a costume anywhere in the river?
Yeah, is there a gorilla suit that's just been
Discarded.
There isn't anything that's noticeably floating in the water. However, at the edge of the river, you do notice a familiar tuft of brown-looking fur switchback.
Whoa. Guys, I found something.
come over?
I'll like point over at the fur.
Is it a lot of it, or is it like some that's been like torn off?
It's torn off it.
Are we?
Ooh.
And it's on the other side.
No, it's on your side.
Okay, I'll gently pick it up.
Is it like loose fur, or is it like? Is there something on it that looks like it was attached to like glued onto something like it would be for a costume?
It's loose fur, but it's like a clump of it.
It's like a tuft of fur.
It's like stuck together with water, so it's wet.
Okay, I'll bring it over to Bramble and Berry. Like, lower it down.
Yeah. I'd
Get
like
set back up
to.
with that.
Yeah, I'd like to see if, given this fur, Berry is able to do anything with that. Like if it helps refocus the search.
Berry doesn't pick up on much. Like, Berry starts heading back the way that you came after smelling it, which means that she's picked up on the scent, but is now going the other direction.
Yeah.
So away from the river, which means that this thing came from the thing that you were chasing, but the scent is still not there across the river.
Okay. Do we reckon? Are we able to check it? If like, is this natural fur or is this synthetic in any way?
You can check by burning it.
I would like to keep at least some of it because back at the rescue shop, I'm going to go out on a limb and say I've got some more advanced scientific analysis equipment.
But
I
yeah,
can requisition some.
yeah, we can
and
probably just take it back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but surely we
Yeah.
have like a match or something.
Yeah, I mean, like there'll be something that can.
I can
cause a
click
spark
my
and repair kit.
big metallic fingers together and probably make a tiny little spark.
I could like friction my wheels.
Yes, you have to sit down. You have to sit down cross-legged and rub your wheels together.
Okay,
Like a
so
cricket.
maybe heading back home with the sample though, because of the late hour and the fact that
Yeah.
maybe destroying your only clue as to what this thing is doesn't sound like a great idea.
No,
Yeah.
not all of it at the very least. But yeah, okay. In that case, we want to head. We know this thing wears Converses, so we need to find somewhere that sells Converses in a size 20. And then
Are the Converses the same size as the other?
actually, yeah.
No, it's smaller.
Oh, okay. It'd be
What
funny.
what shoe size did it look like roughly?
Ooh, like a size 6.
Okay, that's small.
Relatively.
Are they about as deep as the lighter large footprints?
Yep.
Mm.
Okay, so you guys start heading back home using the map that Rosie found in the ranger station to kind of find your way back to a trail. And you start trundling along as it's getting dark. Not too dark. You get to enjoy the ambiance of being able to go through a lovely nature reserve while there is a sunset going on.
And not necessarily fear of danger, considering you have two giant robots. Just yeah, we're safe.
I guess we can drive back along this trail potentially.
Yeah, you definitely see Sea-Watch does get distracted by the views for a while and probably ends up like standing still, just gazing out for a while until someone like kicks him in the leg to get him moving.
Yeah.
Switchback is definitely in the front and definitely does not have the map and know where he's going.
Rosie knows where she's going. It's fine.
Every now and then you have to be like, Switchback, it's this way.
Yeah, or as often we'll take different like forks in the park and be like, no, Switchback, come back.
So yeah, as you guys are doing that, you hear the crackle of your comms go off collectively, and David's voice comes through. It's like, hey guys, I don't know what you've been up to, but since you haven't come back, hope that you guys have completed that rescue because you have another call from the park.
Oh yeah, we sorry, we forgot to radio in, I guess. Yeah, we sent Old Man Simmons in a sinkhole looking for the Wanderer, as usual. So we sent him along with one of the park rangers to go and get looked over for a sprained knee. And we've been chasing down some odd occurrences at ranger stations.
I learned what a converse is.
Yes, we've learned that some sort of ped-based armor for humans and similar creatures. We have a growing theory, Switchback and I, that this Griffin Rock Wanderer may in fact be a extraterrestrial life form like ourselves.
That's great. Sorry, allergies. But
You said
yeah,
it was
no.
hay fever last time.
Allergies, hay fever. Either way, something's making my face act funny, and it isn't great. But yeah, no, Parkins made it back to the reserve. Because turns out Old Man Simmons brought his grandnephew with him, and because of the whole emergency thing, kind of didn't bring him home with him. And so we have a 16-year-old lost in the park.
Do we know where he was last seen?
Hmm?
Do we know where he was last seen?
Yeah, no, Parkins said that the last time that the old man had seen him was that morning before getting stuck in the sinkhole, and he was heading, looks like south, back towards the sinkhole, actually. If you guys can figure a way to get back there, but just a little bit south. Parkins says there's an old, building out there that doesn't really get used much, that the kid might have found interesting, I guess, but other than that, I have no idea.
Do we know if this child wears Converse ped armor?
I don't want to make assumptions, but he might.
Okay, at least the child is well protected. But then we might have found his footprints then up here, but it's a little far.
Potentially.
Anyway, I'd meet back up with Parkins. Maybe the main ranger station is close to the building that he mentioned, so you might just want to go there first.
Yeah. You got it, boss.
I think it's on our way here. We can swing by.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Are we able to? Yeah, are we able to get back to a trail anywhere so we could get moving?
I thought you guys were already on a trail.
Are we on a trail? Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought we were still wandering in the wild.
Yeah, we were able to get back to the trail
Okay.
using the map.
Okay. In that case, are we able to travel in alt mode to go a bit quicker?
Yep.
Boom, boom.
So you guys make it to the main ranger station, and it is close to twilight. Like, the amount of daylight that you guys have now is so low that it is concerning. The fact that there is a 16-year-old out in the wilderness.
Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't sound safe, actually.
I mean, to be fair, do we have any concept of human age cycles?
Oh, well, yeah, we might not.
We're millions of years old. Well, at least Sea Watchers.
Well, in the aligned continuity, some Trinians are actually thousands of years old instead of millions.
Okay. In that,
because they're babies.
Yeah. Still, thousands. Like this is a newborn. You say 16 years old. That's a newborn. Why do you bring his baby out here?
I think we humans might age a little faster than Cybertronians, but yeah, he's certainly adolescent. Shouldn't be out on his own.
So you arrive at the ranger station, and Parkins is outside looking more than a little stressed as you guys roll up.
Ranger Perkins, hi.
Hi, yes, hi. I'm so glad you guys are here.
Yeah, got another call about old man Simmons' nephew.
Yeah, Jeffrey's a good kid, but he has a tendency to wander off as soon as the old man lets his eyes off him, which is all of the time.
I mean, Simmons didn't even mention that he was out here earlier, otherwise we'd have gone looking for him.
The kid usually ends up wandering back here eventually when the old man eventually leaves him behind, but he's never stayed out this late.
This does sound like child endangerment. But in any case, that's official reports from my understandings. See what you're still trying to maintain the robotic voice. Do we have an approximate last location for the child?
What's the kid look like?
Oh. No, about 5'1"-ish, kind of blackish hair, thick skin, likes to scowl at people, not as much as his granddad, mind you, but kid's got a mean look. But what teenagers with, troubles with authority don't when faced with the old Ranger Parkins here.
Do you know what shoes he likes to wear?
I don't know much about fashion myself.
Do they have little stars on?
Yes, actually, they were red with the little white buttons. Can't imagine why you'd want to wear that out here, mind you. And Justice himself, and he's wearing various shades of brown and green.
I mean, I'd love to wear Converse out here in the middle of the wild, but
yeah,
we might have found his footprints over by Ranger Station 5.
We have massive feet. Massive
well, kid's actually got quite average feet for his size. I wouldn't call them particularly big. But you said you'd found him out there at Ranger Station 5? Ooh.
Yeah, we found some Converse footprints leading into the river. Or away from the river.
Well, if he followed the stream, then he might have been able to make it near here, especially if he's going towards an old building that he likes to frequent. But why would he go out there this late?
What is this building that he frequently travels to? Is it nearby?
Oh, it's a little walls that way, but I've got to stay here in case anything else happens. We've got a lot of campers around these parts, and
we can go investigate.
Yeah, it's one of the old bunkers that just never got converted because signal out there is pretty bad.
I'm assuming that I would have taken like a picture of the map, so I'll bring that up and say so is it this building here, pointing to the one that we sort of spotted earlier on the map?
Yeah. So Parkins points at it and it's just yeah, that one. Built into the side of a cliff, for extra protection. It was supposed to be like a logistics headquarters, so it's bigger than the other ranger stations. But we just never really found much use for it outside of a storage shed.
What do you store there?
I was on a cliff today.
Extra supplies, some camping equipment, just in case we need to stay overnight in the woods for whatever reason. We've got these.
We could at least take shelter.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping, but it's still dangerous to be out this late at night, so that's why I called you guys.
Especially with the creature roaming about.
Oh, stop it with that nonsense.
It's the robot saying that, so does he look a little surprised with that, or?
They were massive feet. Massive.
he just like points at Rez. He's like, "You probably not say that. You shouldn't let robots believe in monsters.
We
Freaks
saw
people out."
physical
Oh,
evidence.
it's just working out a few little glitches in the code. Don't worry about it.
What if the monster got him?
Well,
That's only...
I think we'd better go and check, don't you?
And just Sea-Watch like puts a hand on Switchback. Comrade, your voice modulator is malfunctioning.
Huh?
Silence. He puts a digit up to your faceplate.
I sort of lean into Perkins and go, prototypes, you understand.
And he just like nods dumbly while kind of side-eyeing all the robots.
Is there a pathway out to that old building, or is it more trudging through the underbrush?
There is a pathway up to it. It's just a little less, beaten than the actual trails.
Yeah.
So it's still pretty easy to like travel over.
Gotcha. And we're both off-road vehicles anyway, so
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's transform and
Trudge
roll
and
out.
roll.
Please don't sue us, Hasbro.
So you guys make it to the old bunker as it turns dark. So you guys are working via
Headlights on.
torchlight and headlamps.
With us as the Cybertronians, I assume we can kind of see pretty well in the dark compared to our human companions. To some extent.
Yeah, to some extent, but the old optics don't see everything.
No, of course not.
And they also glow a bit, so like you're quite noticeable in the dark anyway.
Yeah.
But using your lights, you can make out the curved structure of what you'd expect like a fairly large bunker to be like, and it is kind of at the front of it, and then it juts backwards into the side of a cliff.
Sure. Okay. Is there a door? Is it open?
The door is closed.
Ah, does it happen to have a familiar square locker padlock, well, square padlock thing arrangement?
Thready puzzle thing.
It does.
Oh my
Are
gosh.
there any footprints leading to the bunker?
There are footprints leading to the bunker.
Is there water?
There is. So the river that Parkins mentioned actually starts here in a waterfall. A very small one, but it is the river that goes through a lot of the park, running from further uphill, otherwise known as Griffin Rock Peak. Well, Griffin Peak.
Is there like
it is the Griffin Rock.
It is the Griffin Rock. But yeah.
What kind of footprints are they?
So it is mostly Converse footprints. You can see more than one set of them, and some of them do look older than others, because as Parkins said, Jeffrey visits this place a lot.
At this point, are we able to potentially prompt Barry to track the footprints again?
Yeah. And so Barry does get out of Sea-Watch and then almost immediately seems to have picked up on something without even having to be prompted, and does go up to the bunker.
Okay.
So can we like try and work out if Barry is picking up the same scent as earlier?
Yeah, you could try and show Barry the.
Yeah,
there we go.
I think I had it, didn't I?
Yeah, I think I'd give it over to you.
So I'm gonna pass it down to Barry.
And Berry is going to sniff it and do the exact same thing. It's going to sit down next to the door.
I think
Okay.
that's a
We should go in there.
point in the plus column for my hypothesis.
Does the door look large enough that me and Switchback could fit in?
Yeah, it's not like a small door. It's like
it's a big bunker.
it's a big bunker door. So like this thing said could be used for storage. It's storage along the lines of big pieces of equipment, maybe a vehicle or so.
Gotcha. Okay. In that case, I'll shine my headlights out on so it's on the front keypad.
Okay, and there is the final keypad.
Okay, so that purple one.
Yeah. So I will say the point of this puzzle is you figuring out what order these need to be in to open the door, because they are not in the correct order currently.
No. Okay.
So 4 needs to be in the top left corner, right?
Remember, we've got they've got the symbols on the thing.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
I have an idea. Hold on. I'm scribbling. I think I might have an idea as to what the final order will be. So heart goes. Heart would be
8 needs to be
purple. So what I'm sort of scribbling at the moment, what I'm thinking is we need to align the 4 corner symbols, and because if you rotate and overlay the two pads that we've already seen, they all sit and don't overlap. So I think 2 needs to go in the middle.
Yeah, two's in the middle no matter what.
I think 8, the yellow needs to go between pentagon and diamond, so that will be left hand middle.
Yeah, so that's where 4 is on the full pad.
Yeah, 7 will go to where 2 is now, the tealy one. And by the same token, the red one, 4 will go by the circle.
I need a whiteboard.
I'm scribbling. So, and therefore,
I think it should be 1, 7, 4, 8, 2, 6, 5, empty, 3.
Yeah. 1 is diamonds. Yep. 1, 7, 4, 8, 2.
You know, if this was on the Toddler's cartoon show, I feel like they wouldn't be able to solve this puzzle. Like this is some complicated.
Maybe
unless you found this on a puzzle for Toddler's website.
Maybe they'd solve it before we did. Tends to be a trend in TTRPGs with puzzles.
No, this is fine. That's fine. It doesn't need to be up on stream.
It's just in case of like watching us attempt puzzles and so orange goes there. So yeah, that's. So yeah, I think
using my phone to give the audience a bit of a preview of what we're actually looking at.
I think the order would be something like that.
Yeah, it's the order that I got.
Yeah. So can we
So
try
yeah,
putting
they've
that
got
up?
this, and then these two to solve the puzzle. So what have we got? Holding higher? Yep. That is the order of the keypad.
Yay!
So you guys slide the pieces into the correct order, and the panel goes in a little bit, and you just hear the click of a lock before the large doors of the bunker are kind of shutter a little bit, but they don't move.
Okay, are they stuck seemingly?
They might be.
Alright, so you watch. He's gonna crack his knuckles and look like he's gonna do it, raw strength, and he realizes, wait, I'm gonna get my tow cable out. Would I be able to potentially, like, hook it around one side of? Is it a door like opening from the middle like this?
Yes.
When the opening opens up, I assume it's not wide enough for either of the humans to fit through.
No, it's like this much.
Okay, is there enough to get my tow cable in?
You could probably hook it on at one edge of the door.
Yeah, I'm thinking to do that and then pull one door open fully, and then
Before
push.
happens, can I make a tech roll or like investigate to see whether it looks like it's broken or whether it's something's jamming it?
Sure. Just instead of going like full in. Yeah, that's a pretty simple roll, so I'd say it's about a 7.
9.
Okay, so the door is just stuck. Like this is an old door. Like these things were made during the Cold War, and as Parkin said, they only really use it for storage, so it isn't as well maintained as the ranger stations. So this building looks a little bit more ramshackle than the other places. And so yeah, the doors just look a little bit creaky. You can hear them rattling slightly in the wind.
Can I tell which part of it is sticking in particular?
So it's the door's actual like mechanism. So like these doors are on like tracks up at the top, and you can see like the middle bit of it, and like there's nothing there that's keeping it there, but like the actual things just aren't moving.
Can I try either oiling it or like heating the track up to try and unseize it using stuff from my repair kit?
You'd have to get up there first because these doors are 10 foot tall.
Hey, so much can have a boost.
Yeah.
Maybe want uppies.
Yeah.
Uppies.
Yeah, I'll lift you up.
You can do that. I am going to say that this will be difficult because this is a pretty big door and you don't have much on you that can do that much to it.
Give it a try. If not, we can do pull it open with my tow cable.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I'm
can
sort of
have a
hoping
go.
that I'm sort of hoping that even if I can't get it completely working, I can at least make it
Maybe
easier
make
to
it
rent it
easier.
open. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll do
So-
degrees of success with this one. This is technology. And I'd say this is challenging to do something to the door, difficult to fully open it. So that's a 15 and a 20 respectively.
Okay. Would you say that it's robotics?
No, this is more mechanics.
So I can't claim specialism.
No.
Okay. I think it's spend an energy on point, so get an uptick.
Okay, you're perfectly able to do that.
Ah! My D10 is cocked, but I rolled a nat 20 on the D20.
Oh.
22.
Hey. So that allows you to pass with the difficulty 20 check. So the door opens with a horrendous creak as these, centuries-old doors are forced open despite everything within, the machinery just not wanting to move all that much. But they do slide open just enough for you guys to be, everybody in the group to be able to at least shuffle through sideways.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'll turn into a motorcycle so I can easily slide more easily.
Meanwhile, I have to shimmy through. Just that's scratching. That hurts my skid plate. Oh, I'm gonna need to buff that out. Oh, need a new paint job.
That was easy.
For you.
I was gonna say, don't worry, you got paint nanites.
Turn back into a bot.
Just doing the
So-
Akira motorbike slide through the doors is how I'm imagining it.
So you guys get into the bunker, and it itself is a really long room, similar to an aircraft carrier, but slightly smaller, and in the side of a mountain.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm gonna say Sea-Watcher's gonna turn on the headlights, have the grappler thing ready in one hand, and then is going to retrieve from his back one of the life preservers in hand, ready to throw at any imminent danger. And it's just looking around like this thing might be here.
So
The child may be in danger.
Now that we're inside,
so I'm just reading a message, Hannah.
Yeah, I guess that's more for us to be fair.
Okay.
We don't need to worry about that for now.
Okay, cool. So the room is lit by very old filament lamps. They're kind of on a string wire, they're coming down from the ceiling, but you can see all the exposed wiring, and you just hear the very light hum of one of the old generators that were at the other ranger stations. But given how big this space is and given how many overhead lights there are, that thing isn't putting out nearly enough power to fully light the room.
You said it was on a generator, right? Or can we see whether a generator isn't try and boost it?
Yeah, you
Or is that
can.
deeper in the...
It's deeper in the room. You can hear it, but you can't see it.
Okay.
So you can. But other than that, there isn't much in the room that you can see. You can see big lumps of things, and you can see some bits that stuff that Parkins mentioned. But other than that, there isn't much, and you obviously can't see the other end of the room. So would you like
Hello?
to? Oh, you're just gonna call out into space.
Sure. Why not?
So after that happens, there is a slight shuffling of something further in the room.
Do we remember what the kid's name was? I don't think we actually asked.
Jeffrey.
I probably should have done that.
Jeffrey.
Can I do something?
Sure.
Can I spend an energon point to use I know a bot and declare that me and Jeffrey have a previously positive relationship?
Sure.
You've been hiding it this whole. You've been hiding this whole time. You made a human friend when you weren't supposed to.
I made a human friend. He came. I was racing around the park and ran into him, and we became friends.
Okay. And it's the
Yeah.
Jeffrey knows you, and you know Jeffrey, which means that the secret is out. But yeah, so you know Jeffrey Simmons, teenage delinquent extraordinaire. So you gonna call out to him?
Jeffrey, are you here?
The shuffling continues, but there's no verbal response.
Hmm. Can I pull a torch out and sort of shine it into the darkness?
Sure.
I'm so used to playing fantasy games. When you say pull out torch, I don't think like flashlight torch. I'm thinking of like just.
I mean, maybe you don't know.
Just a mechanical device that
sort of-
creates a.
Sort of.
It's like a giant lighter.
Shine it around and say, Jeffrey.
Imagine. So you pull out a torch and you shine it in the direction of the noise, I'm assuming.
Mhm.
And before anybody can do anything, something darts towards you.
Jeffrey?
Child?
Oh
Or is
no!
he specifically that I wrote, and that was an in character Jeffrey?
It is not Jeffrey. It is, in fact, a raccoon.
Oh my god!
friend.
That's what it's been.
Maybe.
Is it a big raccoon?
No, it is an average-sized raccoon.
A were raccoon.
Currently trying to, attack Rosie. So what we doing?
Ooh, panic, I think is what Rosie would do.
We're gonna panic about the raccoon.
I'm gonna panic about it and can I make an animal handling roll to try and make friends with the raccoon? I want to roll for friendship.
You want to roll for friendship. So
Following
you have
Jade's example.
a D4 for that.
I sure do. 11.
I'd say that the raccoon doesn't exactly act friendly, but it does back away enough. And just starts kind of, hissing at you.
That's not Jeffrey.
No.
What? What kind of
Might be a child.
maddening creature is this?
It's a raccoon. They're
Mm.
friendly enough. They sort of scavenge and they're sort of generalists. They're just little
Oh,
animals.
so they're like they're from Junkion then.
Sure. That's
Gosh, the fact that
I'm going to
just out of character, the fact that any of you describe raccoons as friendly creatures is concerning.
but with the little grabby hands and they dip in the water and they're very cute.
They
It's
are
friendly.
about as friendly as foxes.
I was gonna say they're the badges of America.
If not for a hug, why is friend shaped?
Are we? So this raccoon is not Jeffrey. Just
No.
No, this raccoon is
That's
not
not what
Jeffrey.
Okay.
We should probably try and shoo it out of the facility. How did you even get in here, little guy?
Is there a hole?
Is there
It hisses at you
another
again.
entrance?
I could
There must
pick
be
it
another
up.
entrance somewhere. I think probably try and gently shoo it out the door.
Could I try and gently direct the raccoon and use my skill in animal handling?
Yeah, you could try and shoo it out the door using your own animal
Yeah.
handling.
Yeah.
I imagine you're better at it than Rosie.
Anyway, just rolling that up now. That's a 15.
Okay, that meets the requirements of challenging. So yes, you do manage to shoot it out of the door. It actually goes quite quickly once it realizes that you are trying to take any step towards it and darts past you into the night.
Bye.
But as it runs past and your eyes follow it, you also notice that there is somebody else here with you now.
Jeffrey?
One Jeffrey Simmons.
Is he standing in the doorway, or is he in here behind us?
He is in the doorway, looking a little bit worse for wear, and holding something that might be a little bit familiar to you.
Mm-hmm.
Switchback.
Maybe a big.
Yeah, is it the fur?
Yes.
It's a big furry massive something, isn't it?
Jeffrey, what are you doing?
He like clams up in all of his, teenage wisdom and just like, what does it matter to you? What are you doing here?
Looking for
I'm going to
you.
save
The family's
you.
worried about you.
I start looking at Switchback. Do you know this human child?
Maybe.
We're not supposed to. What does he know about Jeffrey Simmons? What has this totally human manufactured rescue bot told you about its existence?
Ugh. I'm sorry, Switchback, but you're about as good as acting as a robot that I am, and, acting responsible.
He knows everything. He said he wouldn't tell.
And I haven't!
And Megatron said he wouldn't blow up Cybertron.
Well, does that look like Megatron to you?
I don't know. I don't know what Megatron would look like as a human.
His name's Jeffrey.
Yeah, good point. What are you doing with that clump of Wanderer fur?
What? No, this is just, something.
We've been having a bit of an adventure today, haven't we, Jeffrey?
I mean, yeah, what else am I supposed to do when the old man's running about in the woods? Run about with him? Nah.
Wow.
Like, as he's talking,
There's
he's
something to be
putting the
said for
fur
giving
behind
him
his
the thing
back.
to say.
No, I'm gonna walk over and just kind of look over and like drop the fur.
It's like, whoa, Tin Can, take a step
I've got
back.
Tin Can.
Be careful, Sea-Watch.
I'm not gonna crush the kid. I'm gonna put the life preserver over him so he's like bound in it.
To be
If I
able
can
to
put it
do
over his
that,
head. Just to stop him running off.
I'd say, to be able to do that, I'd say that is a finesse roll, because you have to be careful, and two, this kid's quite slippery.
Okay.
You're gonna scare him off.
I know, but Sea-Watch is annoyed by the fact that he knows about this and he's lying and he's hiding. Okay, this is probably going to go horribly wrong, but let's roll 2d20s. Oh, can I use one of my engine points to? Because currently I'm rolling with a snag. Am I able to use my engine points to help me in any way here?
You're rolling with a snap
No,
roll, rolling without a specialization.
Okay.
If you want to use an engine point to gain an uptick in a skill test to get yourself a D2 instead.
Yes, and I don't roll twice and take the lower then.
Yes, you just roll one.
I will do. I will use. I'll use 2 energon points to get a D4.
Okay.
I roll a D4. That's a 2. 16.
Okay, so Jeffrey does try to dart out and like back the way he came as soon as you try to approach him, but like you manage to like get an arm in front of him and just put your hand out, and he isn't gonna run straight into like metal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so he does startle back, dropping the fur, and you manage to get the life preserver over him.
Yeah, it's just so he stood there like just arms held together with a life preserver around him. All right.
Question
now
about Jerry. Do we know if he is a member of any part of the queer community?
Jeffrey. Ooh. Queer community.
Specifically, I get, I think, an artic on things to do with the queer community. So, like.
Oh, yeah. Let's make some head cabins for Jeffrey. I haven't fleshed out this kid. But, Jeffrey made friends with Switchback because not only is it cool that Switchback is a robot that can transform into a motorcycle, but, the whole transforming thing, Jeffrey gets that. Jeffrey's trans.
Mm. So
Get it?
canonically,
Yeah.
Huzzah.
canonically, so is Rosie, and therefore, I'm going to say that I can gain an uptick on checks involving Jeffrey because
Yeah.
I was going to say Jeffrey presumably is looking quite wet and cold.
Yes. I mean,
I'm
this
going to get
kid
some.
like used those stones that I mentioned earlier to get across the river while hucking a giant fursuit, essentially.
I'm going to get a survival blanket out of the medical kit and sort of drape it around his shoulders and be like, "Hey, Jeffrey, you must be exhausted and cold. Let's look after you for a bit. Let's get you back to being a roughly human temperature and let's get you feeling better. Come on, guys."
He's gonna look moody about it, but like he doesn't shake you
Still
up
in
or
the luck.
anything.
Still in the
Because
luck
he's in the
preserver.
life preserver. And like he does recognize you at least.
Yeah, from community.
As
Am I able to pick up the soaking wet fursuit? I don't like the fact that I've said that statement.
I've specifically resisted phrasing it that way twice so far.
I didn't think. I just said it.
costume.
The costume. I'm assuming like we pick it up. It looks like a gorilla costume or something.
Yeah, it looks like a gorilla costume, but the thing that you can notice about it is the fact the legs are quite long and seem to have what are essentially blocks at the bottom of them, similar to stilts.
Gotcha. Okay.
Has Jeffrey done something like this before?
So you know Jeffrey. He's a bit of a troublemaker. Jeffrey has a history of causing, let's say, issues. Nothing particularly bad, but he's pretty notorious in the same way that his granddad is for being grumpy, for doing stuff that might inconvenience other people, not in a particularly malicious way, but just in a I'm going to cause problems on purpose.
You had that old man that's always with you, so wound up about a wanderer.
What do you expect me to do? My parents dumped me here during the summer, and you know, it's just I'm supposed to be on break right now. You know, spending time doing stuff that I want to, and instead of, you know, pulled away from everything just to go watch my granddad mess about in the woods. What else am I supposed to do? Look at nature?
Yeah, it's nice.
It does have its advantages.
Do you do bird
I
watching?
mean,
You can do bird watching.
I do bird watching.
Do you think maybe that if you hadn't been out here with a giant wanderer suit, that maybe your grandpa wouldn't have been quite so intent on getting out there and finding it?
He does this every year, though. There's no stopping it.
True, he can be a bit set in his ways.
So I thought I'd just mess with him a bit. You know, do something a bit stupid.
As a responsible rescue team member, I have to tell you that I disapprove. However, that is hilarious.
It's very funny.
It's just stupid, and I wish you'd stop doing it. But you know,
yeah. I mean, look,
maybe there's a solution here.
Oh.
Maybe we, using that costume, we could prove to him that the wonder is not real, or if we're being a bit more theatrical, pose the wanderer perishes in some dramatic, I don't know, event. Goes flying off a cliff on a motorcycle. And I look at Switchback.
I've already got off a cliff today.
Yeah, but
Well,
that time you
I'll
didn't
wait.
intend
I'll
to.
wait at the bottom. I'll put a bunch of life preservers down. You can land on them.
No, you guys don't have to get involved in this.
Evil
That would
Knievel,
be really
Griffin
cool,
Rock
though.
Wanderer.
Probably just go and see the old man and explain myself.
Yeah, you do know he fell into a sinkhole today.
Yeah, it fell into a hole.
Right.
Yeah, I was there. It's just you guys seem to have the situation handled. And what was I gonna
Left
do?
him?
When I got there, you guys had already gotten him out the hole.
He said a lot of things, and I don't remember any.
Also, how did you make that jump over that cliff so easily in that costume?
Oh, yeah, no, you see those things at the bottom of the legs? They're the like spring things that I made. I can't really explain it to you, but like they help me jump high, and it's just something I've been working on for a little bit. You know, when I can actually spend time indoors.
Then maybe do you
Rosie's
think
ears broke up at that.
maybe you and old man Simmons could work together on it? If get your grandfather to work with you, or
Or if so, Rosie's ears break up at this is like, kid smart, kid make things, kid, fellow sciencey person, hello. And so she's sort of like, and so she's sort of Rosie's sort of taking a look at the boots and sort of these are really well made actually. I mean, if you didn't want to be stuck with your grandpa or something, you could always come and do an internship at our rescue base lab. I'd be happy to offer you an internship or a mentorship or something. I mean, clearly you've got the brains to go pretty far with this sort of thing, so I'd be very happy to give you an excuse to get out of the house.
Jeffrey turns an interesting shade of pink, which to the Cybertronians is alarming.
is the child okay? Is this what's wrong? Their face is
Hay
changed.
fever?
Oh no, not hay fever.
It's okay, guys. Don't worry. Humans, we go colours sometimes.
Okay, like the guy who changed the color of his chassis every day. Look over to Switch.
Quite, but we'll work on it. We'll work. I'll upload. I'll give you some textbooks later. You can have a look through.
Okay. The kid also does know our greatest secret, so it would probably be best we keep a close eye.
Yeah, I mean, you know our secret now, Jeffrey. So I mean,
He's known it for like
would seem
a month.
But he's known longer than them.
I was gonna say I'm not a knock.
Wow,
Maybe.
that sounds like
You guys
exactly.
are kind of bad at this whole robot thing.
What? You say we've been robots longer than you've been alive?
But no, you've been aliens for longer than I've been alive. You haven't been robots longer than I've been alive.
Same difference.
I was gonna say,
No,
do you think that nobody had noticed the fact that you go up and down the shoreline some mornings by yourself? I'm surprised we don't have an urban legend about a haunted boat at this point.
Well, that's pretty cool.
He's got a
actually.
point.
You walk around in you go around doing heel tricks and like you're at a skate park or whatever.
I do it in bot mode though.
Yeah, that's worse, surely.
Robots can walk around.
Yeah, but they don't do kick flips.
Robots can do kickflips if they want.
The robots can do kickflips as a treat.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn to Jeffrey as those two are sort of bickering with each other and being like, I can't lie, we could use another pair of hands in the just keeping a lid on those two. Let's fit.
They
It's
would be
like-
What do you
helpful.
say?
It's like I could be that pair of hands if you get me out of this thing.
Oh,
I think that
I'll,
sounds pretty good to
He
me.
starts wiggling in the life
I'll
preserver.
come over and take the life preserver off him.
So what do you say? Teammates?
Jeffrey looks at the offered hand, you, and then the pair of still bickering robots in the background.
Just in the back, I'm just like, what would Optimus say if he knew that you just told a random kid? It'd probably be something like, that was very irresponsible. This will, the kid might be in
Yeah.
danger from the Decepticons, blah, 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 blah.
More understanding than you make it sound.
And then Jeffrey reaches out and shakes your hand. It's just like, you got a deal, but you got to get me away
That's
from my
never boring.
granddad.
And Optimus Prime would see me do a kickflip and say that was sick. So
He probably would. I did hear that he did once participate in a human game they call basketball of some sort.
So yeah. So
Optimus Prime got mad hops.
exactly. Canonically said nothing much double dutch once. Optimus is down with the kids.
I'm putting it in
But-
the
that's
chat.
what a meme is.
It's the Optimus Prime basketball game. Sorry, distracted. So I'd imagine after this you guys head home. To the rescue fire station after dropping Jeffrey off back at Old Man Simmons' house and allow him to take the Wet Wanderer suit with him to go and explain to his granddad that he's been effectively chasing his grandnephew for the last few days. But you think the kid will be alright. And you guys head back to the station and go through your regular evening plans, which I'd assume would be hopefully together today.
Yeah.
What would the group do together after a successful day of rescue missions?
Could go. I mean, would you say I have enough capacity in my because I've got my additional capacity? Could I fit in my boat alt mode, like switch back in his bike form in the back of my boat form, potentially?
Yeah, you could carry Switchback. Just
Yeah, I'm
regularly.
thinking we could go on like a nice little evening boat ride. Suggestion. I'm trying to think of.
Yeah,
I think we should try some sick motorbike Evil Knievel tricks. Like shooting off of boats over like
Yeah, so you guys spend the evening doing motorbike tricks off and on of a boat.
Yeah. All right.
And
enjoying the sunset.
yeah, as this is happening, Bramble, you notice something off in the tree line near the coast. You're not quite sure what it is, but it looks familiar. That shade of brown fur is similar to the one of Jeffrey's suit, but you don't quite get a close enough look at it as something shambles its way back into the darkness.
Oh my. And twist.
And scene.
The twist.
Yay!
I like to think it was just Optimus Primal, just out in the woods, eating monkey.
It's just a big mechanical leap.
Optimus Prime. Oh, that thought that I probably shouldn't say on stream.
Yeah, keep it PG. Keep it PG.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's just one of those thoughts that wouldn't let me not let it out of my head.
Yeah, the game is over, Zach.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Right, let me get my video on. I couldn't actually tell. Oh, Kim. Sorry, you're not on.
Descended into madness.
You're not on camera. Would you mind just getting the lights? Just to illuminate me. I'm in a different house because we've been streaming in a house that actually has good internet.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Oh, hello, everyone. I'm so tired. I haven't even. Well, I say I haven't even done anything. I've probably done more admins and adminning and streaming shifts this year than I've done previously.
Yeah.
Right, let me try and
That's a lot
find
out of
the original Tablethon backdrop. I don't think it's actually here.
The space one?
Yeah. Oh no, the space one was Pirates, wasn't it?
No. The space one was used for Pirates this year, but it was like the original Tablethon. Extreme Overlap. It was like our neutral one.
Okay, but we don't have a generic one this year. But I think I might move it over to the space one just because it's nice,
Space.
and then fix this thing. Ooh.
I mean, the very first game of this year was in space, canonically.
And
Yeah.
we're, in this game, 2 of us were from space.
Yeah.
All right then.
Kremlo came
So
from space.
people are
Oh my God,
starting to
it's
gather.
Kremlo.
What I will say to everybody who is a volunteer on Tablethon, feel free to pile on in. Just keep your videos off. Folks here, don't worry, you don't have to turn your videos off quite yet. We're not quite gonna start the finale just yet. I just want to, I guess we just assemble people. I just want to see how many people we can cram into this.
Bring the Legion.
What's, wait, this is the Transformers game. Autobots, roll out.
Once we have everyone, till all are one.